We were 12-year-olds, just as Americans said, he said. But over the last few years, we think we've become at least 14-year-olds.
Give us guns.
What is the context of?
The context is Harutoshi Fukui, a deranged, the New York Times politely put it as Japan's Tom Clancy, talking about how Japan should have a potentially invasive military, and taking off of a derangedly racist speech from General MacArthur about Japan being a nation of 12-year-olds.
I mean, all right, I will say that calling him Japan's Tom Clancy is incredibly apt. It's just 10 out of 10 on that one. Everything else in that sentence, I'm kind of iffy on.
I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here thinking about MacArthur just clenching that corncob pipe in his teeth and 12-year-olds, smooth, hairless.
Oh God, I hate this.
That took a turn. These fucking babies, they can't even war properly. Or can they?
So we're
I'll
back
have
to
you know that as a
Metroid.
libertarian, I believe the 12-year-olds.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, it's going into a terrible place.
Back it up. We need to backtrack this right now.
Yes, they just throw it back. That's what I'm saying.
No! Metroid! Let's talk about Metroid!
Let's not talk about Metroid.
If our choices are that and Metroid, we're talking about Metroid.
All right, fine. We'll talk about Metroid.
Wait, we're not allowed to say Metroid. Shit.
We're talking about.
Hey, I didn't say that's what you were playing. I said
We'll talk about search action.
Oh God, fucking! I hate that fucking name.
Search action, you say?
Search action. I'm sorry, fanboy. I didn't mean to ruin your day by saying the wrong thing.
My day came pre-ruined.
Oh no! Oh no!
Why don't you just start the day? Why don't you start the day off fucking up? Koji Igarashi is the spiritual father of search action.
No, we will not.
Just terrible words being said on even worse streams.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fanboy. I'm sorry for bringing you this pain.
My life is already pain. It's fine.
Pain.
So Metroid.
This is pain for Metroid.
Fucking. Oh, sorry.
Fucking
Go ahead.
Rick and Morty ass line.
Rick and Morty ass motherfucker.
So moving on. So Metroid.
Moving on
cool.
to season 7 of Rick and Morty,
There was,
currently
once,
airing.
there was once a pinball Metroid game. That was kind of
What?
fun.
That was actually kind of fun.
Metroid Prime Pinball.
Why can't Metroid Prime Pinball crawl?
Because then it wouldn't be a ball anymore.
That makes perfect sense.
The robot would cease to be a ball and would simply be a robot.
Make all these Metroids crawl till I skeet, motherfucker.
God damn it.
We're going places tonight.
We already went. We are coming back.
We're coming back to places tonight. We're refusing to stop tonight.
We could.
Fanboy's manifesting cigarettes into his mouth.
Nicotine dulls the pain.
I gotta say, fanboy, of all the people I know, you seem like the sort of one. Like all the friends I know who don't smoke, I'm gonna add a qualifier. You seem like the sort of guy who would be outside of a shitty bar at 1 a.m. just half smoking a cig and then just throwing it away before you even finish it. It don't matter. No, it matters.
I have so many questions about how to take that, but I'm just gonna have to live with it. So
It's you need to take it in the coolest sense imaginable, because here's the thing about smoking, to me at least, right? Smoking is very obviously ruinous to your health. Smells disgusting. It's just bad in general.
But
right?
unfortunately, it looks cool as shit.
It is cool as fuck. Smoking is awesome.
I don't know how you can be a hard-boiled detective without it.
Seriously, how
right?
could we...
Like you were literally lighting something on fire and just holding it in your mouth, like you don't give a shit. That's
You're
fucking
blowing
rad.
smoke around. You always have something to do with your hand when you're. No, it's cruel. It is. this is just the irony of existence. It's like, yes, we made the one thing that makes everyone look cooler, and you know what it does? It kills you
It kills
like
you.
a bullet, like a bullet.
I'm thinking a lot about how what your choice of smokable determines so much about your characterization. Because like the cigarette has versatility. You could be a nervous smoker, you can be a world weary smoker, but there's a certain degree of exhaustion that comes with it.
Yeah,
with a cigar, you are the worst piece of shit that humans have ever known.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
exactly.
such thing
Smoking a
as a
cigar.
nervous
Smoking a cigar is honking off in front of someone else, and them not being able to like call you a pervert for it.
Yeah, 100%. And then you get like the pipe that's like, intellectual and distinguished. You get you get the hookah that's a wild card.
Yeah, that can mean anything.
Can you
No,
take
the hookah is for luscious gentlemen.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah, like in a fucking
Like
leisure
luxuriating.
Oh,
Like
yes.
it's got the luxury sense of the cigar without being inherently disgusting.
I feel like there are situations where the cigar is not disgusting, but it's very.
It has to be the best moment of your
it's like
life.
for bachelor parties.
My child was just born.
Yeah,
and smoking
my
a
child
cigar.
was just born. It's another good one. Right. There are contexts in which the cigar is
But
not
if you're just
disgusting,
casually
but
smoking
like
a cigar,
just casually smoking a cigar just makes you a piece of shit.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, like
in
you're just
those
the worst piece of
situations,
shit
you're not
imaginable.
the only one smoking a cigar, which is
you're
an
passing out
important
cigars. Everyone,
Yeah, like if you're
everyone
handing
is
out
being
cigars,
elevated
it's a
by the action.
celebratory thing.
Yeah.
And if it's a celebratory thing, then you are somebody worth celebrating, at least a little bit.
Yeah. No, I once upon a time I was I was having a suit made, and I met with my tailor, and he like invited me into like cigar night with his boys. And, like, so there's like the tailor,
Me and the
and
boys.
there's like a corporate attorney, and there's like a couple of just big white haired big wig types, and every one of them that could do nothing but bitch about their divorces.
That makes perfect sense. Yes.
I mean,
You're like-
yeah, like
every
for a
man
moment I
in here
thought this
getting
was going
divorced.
somewhere cool, and then no, the opposite.
Just the most tragic humans. The tragic social club.
I mean, it was like
I
a
thought-
bunch of boomers got together to do an episode of Come Town. It was bleak, man.
Jesus.
Hey, Screamer Dead Skull. Hey, Cassandra, who's actually in the call and can talk to us if she wants.
I know.
How y'all doing?
Politely, instead of interrupting, just put skeet in the chat.
That's the
No,
sound of a
that's-
Metroid.
though, because way back when smoking was a little
Okay,
more
put skeet in the chat, sort of. I'll put a
public.
twist on it.
Thank God.
When smoking was a bit more acceptable in public, I had family relatives who would smoke cigars, while the ladies would smoke cigarettes and the dudes would smoke cigars.
Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, so like a third.
That was the original
situation where
gathering.
cigars are acceptable is like if you're in the 50s somehow.
I mean, this was the 80s and 90s.
Never mind.
But it wasn't like special occasions. It was they were sitting around the kitchen table playing cards or something.
Also, adjacent to the prior discussion, the general vibe of chaw is also the lowest of the low.
Oh yeah,
but not wealthy in the same way that cigars are the lowest of the low, but wealthy.
no. Chaw is what you put in your mouth because your hands are too busy with hard labor to get that nicotine into your body any other way. I will remind you, there are pictures of people building the goddamn railroads with pipes in their teeth. So these people are even busier than that.
Sounds truly dreadful. So we've learned a lot about smoking today. Hooray.
I'm glad,
Chewing.
if even one child lights up because of this conversation.
Even one child.
Wow.
No child will ever see this stream.
And to be fair, all of these options, well, most of these options were tobacco specific.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
At no point are we telling people to get out there and just smoke the most heated up weed they can find. Like,
Well,
I want
is
Russian research chemicals on this leaf.
hookah also something else sometimes?
Sometimes you can smoke a lot of things out of a hookah.
Like, I don't have personal experience. That was a legit question.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I'm saying, like, I am answering your legitimate question as someone who has not smoked one, but who has looked it up.
Thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page.
No. When Fanboy finally smokes hookah, it will be like all the way. You'll be like reclining upon a silk couch, you know.
Seems optimistic, but okay.
You're not gonna. I'm with AV on this one, fanboy. This is not something you would half-ass. You of all people.
No. You will be attended to by like a man in a little like satin vest. You know?
living
Question.
someone's dream.
Important question. Is this man wearing a fez?
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Fanboy
Okay.
will have brought both the fez and the vest to this location for this man to wear it to make sure he did not.
I would never make him purchase his own.
Yeah, because you're considerate. You're not an
I feel like a
asshole.
hookah is a situation where a fez just manifests. Like, it's just there.
We
and
haven't
nobody knows where it
researched
came
that yet. I need to be prepared.
Yeah.
It's like how
Road
I
Skull chimes in that they were also picturing a fez.
We all were.
see.
I was gonna say, I've been frequenting some Mediterranean and Indian restaurants more recently, which is where I've seen
Sounds
a
like
lot
a good time.
of dude, the food's amazing, and I wish I had known about this, when I was younger.
Yeah.
But
Just go back in time and tell yourself about Mediterranean food.
Dude, I didn't even eat onion until I was in college. That's a completely different argument.
Tough times.
Rough times.
To be like denied the onion, you know.
No, it wasn't. It was a learning experience, and
This is a serious question. It's going to sound really demeaning, and I wish you understand it's not meant to be. But did you grow up in a cult?
no, I grew up with two working parents who didn't know how to cook.
Okay.
No.
Well, no, because like I one of my coworkers was in a grew up in a cult, and one of the things that's really defining for him was that they had really like strong and bizarre food
Unique
restrictions.
dietary restrictions.
Yeah. Like like they didn't eat beans or whatever, you know. So
I
just-
don't think I was
You
in
must
a
not
cult,
consume of the
but-
seed.
You
But
must not
both of
eat the
my
bean.
parents are also very white people, spicy food kind of thing. So we were very limited,
I see.
and
I see.
still are. So I'm finding these things on my own.
There's entirely too many sections of this that are just in the dark. This sucks.
Well, I believe this part you're supposed to be distinctly powering up because all the doors are closed. And then I think we fight something that then allows us to turn on the lights.
Ooh, hats for big heads.
Why is no one modded into this game the fucking voice clip from Altered Beast where like the dude just screams "Power up"?
Yes.
It should be in all the Metroids.
There was a UFC fight where a guy's corner man kept yelling that into the ring, like as this guy was supposed to go, "Power up!" Like, what the fuck? If I were in there fighting for my life and you were yelling this cringy shit into the ring at that time, I would scale that fence and beat your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
God, that just makes me
Exactly.
think
That
of,
was the motivation you need.
I am now thinking of the fucking like one of the most dreadful things that humankind. The Game Boy Advance version of Altered Beast.
Oh god, that game sucks so bad. I love it.
It's so fucking ugly, and it also looked at Altered Beast and was like, man, you know what the problem with this is that it's just not way too goddamn long. So it took Altered Beast, a game that was already wearing out its welcome at 5 stages, and expanded it to a full 16.
Oh, that's incredible.
Also, each level lasts I didn't time it, but I do remember playing that as a child, and holy fuck, those levels are so fucking long. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like sitting there, it's like we at Sega really believe that people
not
who play
Sega,
our
not
games,
Sega. THQ fucking developed this.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, Sega did a bunch of
THQ believes
licensing.
that people who play our games
Sega
should yearn
basically
for-
allowed other companies to play with their licenses in the Game Boy era. This resulted in a few decent games. Like I think people think
Jet Set
quite
Radio
highly.
Future is actually quite good on GBA.
Yeah, Just a Radio. It's just Jet Set Radio. It's not Just a
Yeah,
Radio.
it's just a radio, but yeah.
There were a few pretty decent ones that came out of it. I believe that Sonic Advance was like made by Dimps, but Dimps makes half the Sonic games, so whatever.
Yeah, it was made by Dimps. All three Sonic Advances, both Sonic Rushes.
I
are
love
made
it. I love it when a development shop sounds like a slur. Oh, it was made by
I know,
Dimps.
right?
Like, what are Dimps?
Yeah.
But this also I think the port of Shining Force is
Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. That one's pretty decent.
yeah, that's pretty decent. But
The-
Altered Beast is like magically bad. It's fucking incredible. I'm
low
going to
water
beat
mark.
it. I'm gonna like download the fucking ROM and beat it one day just to say I saw the ending.
The actual low water mark for that period is either GBA Altered Beast or Guardian of the Realms for being dreadful in every way.
It's
But
just awful.
it can't.
It's also
hurt
really
you.
ugly, which is impressive.
Yeah, that's why I had to link Ampelvigor the video of it, because it's like this kind of shitty graphics had kind of gone away by the GBA, but for some reason they brought it back.
It reminds me of fucking Diablo, where it's like clearly made using like 3D models, but it
Yeah, they're
sucks
pre-rendered
ass.
sprites.
Yeah.
They're really bad pre-rendered sprites.
Really bad pre-rendered sprites.
But what I was going to say was the other low watermark. I'm not sure if it's a worse game. It's in contention. It's a similar quality. It might be worse though because it pretends to be a better game. Because they made a GBA game that is called Revenge of Shinobi. That is not the same game as Revenge of Shinobi,
Mm,
and
Yeah, that's
is
a crime.
absolutely fucking horrible.
that's wrong.
Okay,
that's
here's-
wrong.
here's-
That's wrong.
Here's a fucking thing. Probably my favorite 3DS game. So like
Yeah, the Kryptonite
one and a
one.
half generations in the future. The 3DS Shinobi. That game fucking slaps.
Yeah, the one made by Kryptonite. It's real good.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Please appreciate it. I just looked it up. Just looking at the opening crawl. Both of these were developed by the same shop you've never heard of called 3D6 Games.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's
Altered
amazing.
Beast, Guardian of the Realms.
There is a really good Shinobi game on the Game Boy though. It is not titled Shinobi though. It is titled, and I'm not making this up, Ninja 5-0.
I
Yep.
love Ninja 5-0.
Ninja Cop in Europe, Ninja 5-0.
I got
That
the
game is
Ninja
fucking
Cop
rad.
version somehow at an American GameStop. I still have no fucking idea how that happened.
Nice.
It was super rare. They did not make a lot of copies of it in the US, and it was desired and region free, so I can see how it ended up in there.
Yeah, well,
no.
it's
Ninja
a fucking
5-0
awesome
whips
game.
ass. Ninja
Yeah,
5-0,
it's
it's like
fucking rules.
Lady Sia levels of just like unexpectedly amazing.
That was a
I didn't
super
think
weird
Lady
game.
Sia was great, but I did appreciate it.
It was a lot more work was put into it than anyone had any reason to expect.
That's it. That Lady Sia is one of your perfect examples for better than it had to be.
Yeah,
You know,
like for some reason, and you don't know what that reason was, but it was definitely like
Someone
no.
believed in it, and no one
Yeah,
could
someone
quite
believed
tell
in
why.
it. I would say Lady Sia was like the Shantae before Shantae really existed. I think
Well, it was after Shantae, but
it was after Shantae. Okay,
after
yeah.
Shantae, but before Shantae got like weird.
had any sort of nerd
before she
cafe.
got her Brazilian butt lift, basically.
Oh god.
that's a hell of a way to put it. Yeah, Shantae was like was a Game Boy Color game that came out.
Yeah, it's a super
well
late
after
Game Boy
Game
Color
Boy
game, like
Advance was on
2001,
shelves.
2002.
Yeah. And I actually bought it because I read an IGN article that was like deliriously sucking it off years before it released.
Yeah, that was basically why I picked it up myself, because it was that, and also I was a poor college student, and at the time Game Boy games were like easy.
It was like $20.
Yeah, like $20.
Yeah, cheap as chips, and it was fairly plentiful. I mean, like it wasn't a rare game, at least that I
Not at the time.
Not at the time.
It was like they didn't make a ton of them, but also the demand was zero.
Yeah, which is a shame because it was. Like I said, I thought it was
the original Game Boy Color
fine.
Shantae.
Yeah,
Pretty good game. I would say it's a solid 8 out of 10.
Before we started defining genres by it, it was basically like Simon's Quest again. It was like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody's revisiting this as a concept.
yeah. It's a fun game. It's got some cool mini games in it, and it does not make me curse God for having bought that as opposed to.
And that happened a lot with Game Boy games.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Game Boy games, especially Game Boy Color, was like just a pits.
It was really late. Yeah, because it was very much like, we don't know how much longer this is going to happen, but it's also really cheap to make things, so we're just going to sort of see where this takes us.
Yeah.
It is so fucking awesome, and I love this. That fucking Quest for Camelot. the video
I
game
love
of the
that
movie
that's on Switch
is
Online.
one of the games that got Nintendo Switch Online treatment.
I'm hoping that we get. I'm hoping that this means that we might get Game Boy Color Daikatana at some point.
God, that would be so fucking good.
Like that.
That game's not even
officially-
bad. Like that's actually
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is the best version of Daikatana.
Don't you have to
Not to them with
keep
faint
shooting
praise,
till
but-
you can hit the core, Goggle Bob?
I do,
Shoot
but
the car,
it
shoot the car.
respawns its cannons so quickly that, I can't do shit.
I believe in you.
That's
Well,
what
I
I'm
didn't
trying
believe
to
in
do.
you that time. Maybe if you use missiles.
Yeah, no,
I can't.
I guess I could use those on the cannons. That would probably make sense.
I can't leave Aughts nostalgia without my buddy Superfly.
Super.
God, Daikatana. One of the it's quaint to think of how late that was considered to be when it was like a year and a half, 2 years late.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't released. I thought fucking John Romero.
Game Boy Color Daikatana was not released. Original Daikatana absolutely came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's been delayed for almost 2 years. This is unimaginable.
Like
Unimaginable.
we are
unprecedented. No
so
one can
upset.
even imagine this.
Oh,
Yeah,
you can
look.
just shoot the fucking armor.
Yeah, no, apparently.
It's like,
I'm not
think
mad,
that'd
but
go
I
well.
am disappointed.
oh
I
yeah,
thought this
Derek's
boss was much
smart.
harder than I was giving it credit for.
God, Derek Smart.
Derek Smart gave the world Battle Cruiser 3000 AD, and it only took him.
8 years.
Well, it was first released in '96 after only 4 years.
Quaint.
And I remember Battle Cruiser 3000 AD, being delayed, coming out, after 4 years was considered like. I don't
Like an ungodly wait.
Yeah, no, it was as though eons had dread eons had passed, and the name Battle Cruiser had passed from myth into legend.
I mean, we're living in luxury video game communism now. No, we're not. It's the opposite of that. Whatever the fuck, Duke Nukem Forever. Is that one still the number one, or is Star Citizen getting a run for its money?
By this point, since Star Citizen, it depends upon what you're counting as release for Star Citizen. I think Star Citizen hitting 1.0 is basically never.
Yeah, that's what I count is complete as release for Star Citizen is for Star Citizen to be in a state where it's actually playable by normal humans and not miserable troglodytes.
Well, that's never going to happen because miserable troglodytes are the target audience.
Okay, Beyond
I have
Good and Evil
friends.
2.
I have at least a Twitter mutual who I am on friendly terms with, who has told me that the game is playable, but they put it in I think scare quotes. So
Yeah, one of those things where it's
It by that they mean it did not brick their computer.
yeah, one of those things where it's you can move around in it. There's not much to do.
There are some parts of the game that are at least semi-implemented.
There's not
But yeah. Also, you brought up what was it you just mentioned, AV? Beyond Good and Evil 2. I don't really count that because it's one of those things where it's Ubisoft keeps saying, it's coming, but there's very little indication that it was in development for most of that time.
Okay.
So it's a fucking Last Guardian.
No,
Yeah.
Last Guardian. There's a lot of indications it was in development for most of that time.
I don't believe that. Like
Did you see the game they released? That looked like a fucking PS3 game.
I'm just saying that, like, I think for a decent chunk of the supposed development cycle, like the period of time between release and like it actually being playable, its existence could be summed up as a post-it note on a whiteboard.
It sucked so much, like, actually playing that game, and like, fucking beyond the fact that it was just like, oh, you thematically haven't advanced at all. This is almost exactly the same game you released a decade ago in terms of like level of like themes and artistry. But beyond that, you also made like a non-functional version, because like it was like, I remember getting to like a key pivotal moment that's supposed to be like a big scene right near the end. That it's just this mind-numbingly repetitive climb up a tower. You just keep doing the same actions over and over to keep climbing this tower.
Isn't that just Ico?
Eco has different puzzles. This is the same thing over and over again. So you're climbing the tower. You have to make a leap of faith. You have to do this several times. And every time it does the same canned animation, or it's supposed to do the same canned animation where the dreadful gremlin dog snatches you out of the air to keep you from falling to your death.
Dreadful gremlin dog. I love
That's
it.
a
best
great way to put it.
description.
I'm so happy.
And I watched in disgust as I got near the top of the tower, and the dread beast, the horrible creature, watches me fall to my death and die, and I have to start the entire tower climb over again because the checkpointing sucks. And that's kind of just the Last Guardian experience, is a simple puzzle that doesn't work, because even though most of the AI needs are pretty much entirely scripted, it still doesn't work right. And
I remember
there are-
seeing you argue with people on Talking Time about it. You were like, "No, if a dog feels like an actual animal," and you were like, "No, it feels like a stupid AI."
Yeah, it feels like every fucking like squad member I've ever had in a game who just like wanders around and doesn't know where he's going. Except that every puzzle in the game is built around him knowing where he's going. And oh god, I was so upset, because even with that, if it felt like there was a meaningful advancement of like aesthetic or theme or anything, I'd be willing to put up with a lot. But
I know you, fanboy. You are not like somebody who just dismisses things out of hand.
And like, but it was just, what if Eco but Yorda was a dog? That was it.
Oh man.
That's incredible.
Hey, fanboy.
Well,
Hey, fanboy. Look in the group chat.
Oh, I gotta look at this now.
This is the horrible demon dog.
So I
needs
am
more dog.
looked at the wrong tab that I have open for Twitch,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and a friend of mine is playing Lethal. The heck is this called?
Is it Lethal League, or is it Lethal whatever that other thing
Lethal
is?
Protector.
No, it's Lethal Company.
Oh yeah, I've heard people talking about that. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, so I had that on my visual, and I was listening to you guys talk, and I was like, something is wrong here. Because for those of you who don't know, it's one of those, like, you have multiple team members, and it's very dark, and you're supposed to collect things. It's like a horror thing.
Mhm.
I don't really know. It's not something I would ever play, but it's hilarious to watch my friends play.
Yeah, no,
Because
I get
they-
murdered.
Exactly. Well,
That's
but,
why
like,
we
if
watch
you
people
die-
play video games.
Yeah,
Because we all want to see them fail. Gogglebob?
Oh.
but it's
What
not
to do?
something I would play myself. But yeah, so apparently, like when one person dies, their audio cuts out, and you can't talk to them again until the game's over.
That
That's
makes
fun. That's a good thematic touch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But again, I'm like watching that part and hearing you guys talk about other, like, less scary.
Completely unrelated things.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Demon dogs.
Okay, what you gotta jump around this thing so I can appreciate their Dragon Ball Z ass of a character design.
I'm
Look
just
at those lines. That is Imperfect Cell 101 right there.
I'm just appreciating that, like, your current beam power up seems to turn it into like one of the R-type power ups.
Yeah, I'm basically at combination wave beam, plasma beam, and spazer, I think.
Yeah, it's just that's never what it looks like in like the official Metroid.
No,
it's
absolutely
just like
Which
like
also
this
is
looks
kind
like
of
an
the
R-type
purpose
laser.
of the boss we just fought. Like, it's supposed to be kind of like a beam tester. That was the thing that I was fighting.
That explains it.
And that it used the different like configurations of the beams as like its thing.
They're
It's a
pronounced
clever
beans.
boss for a fan game.
Get it right. Yeah, no, that boss
Beans.
seems very cool.
It reminded me a bit of the Nightmare from Fusion.
This game
Yeah, I
is
can
not
see it.
perfect, but it's pretty damn cool.
It's a neat little game.
Also,
Yeah,
this
it
area
does-
is dark, and it is 10,000 times better than its matching area in Metroid 2, because that was completely dark and you couldn't see shit.
Wait, so you were just like
You just bumbled around in the dark and kind of hoped you rolled into where you wanted to roll.
there were only 4 colors to work with, so like you just couldn't see shit the entire
Black and
time.
white, baby.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
Did one of your other friends die?
No, I was watching you miss the thing and get blocked out.
Just
Oh, yeah.
bumbling.
I believe
Yeah,
in you,
that's gonna
Gogglebob. I
happen
believe in you.
again.
I believe in you. You suck, Gogglebob. I no longer believe in you.
See, you never believed
Guess you
in
just
him.
remember
Oh,
he has
I've
a
always
spider ball.
believed. I've always believed that there was something worth bullying in Gogglebob, but that faith is starting to fade.
I was gonna say, is this the same game from last week? Oh, I was about to say, what happened to the wall climbing thing? But there you go.
I
Just
just
kidding.
remembered I
I've
had it.
forgotten all about the wall climbing thing, but now that I've been reminded of it, I hate Gogglebob even more.
Well, I
Gonna
was
bully him
wondering
even harder.
about that while you were in the giant, the room with the giant statue things, whatever that is, with the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I could potentially use it there, but it is very
Oh.
slow going every time you use it.
Right, but it lights up more.
Fair enough.
It's a fair point. You should probably listen to it.
Us?
Nah, fuck no, I'm not listening to shit.
I was like, wait, was there more than one of me talking?
I said
Are you just taking
I said you
complete
should
credit
listen-
for that?
no. I was saying it's a fair point. You should probably listen to it.
I'm just being a pain in the butt today.
I feel like it's very important that we bully Gogglebob. Like, every day Gogglebob goes unbullied, I just sort of wake up, like, with a start going, something's wrong.
Gogglebob, what do they do when you're on vacation or something?
I do
like when
not
you're
know.
not here.
I mean, we don't typically stream for one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
we take a break. I mean, sometimes I stream when Gogglebob's on vacation, like, I'll do a one-off or something.
That's why I
But
said don't
Gogglebob is by
typically.
far the key streamer in the group.
Aw, I'm the key streamer.
Yep.
What kind of keys?
Keep
The kind that you jangle in front of a baby to make them shut up.
I was gonna say Fisher Price style, or
I mean, it's doing the opposite of that. It's making us talk more.
Yes. See, that's the beautiful catch-22 of it all. The only way he can appease us is by streaming, and streaming is how we bully him.
Yeah,
There's no winning.
You see,
It's dark.
He's trapped in his own cycle of eternal samsara.
We have created a perfect
Cell.
late night catch 22. He cannot
Perfect
escape.
cell. Yes.
We created perfect cell. Yes, he's gonna absorb the androids and get relieved swole.
He's gonna throw one up, then he's gonna get real big.
He's gonna throw one up and then the one that got thrown up is gonna marry a weird little bald guy.
This is very specific.
Fair choice.
It's extremely. It's one of those like romances for the ages. God, those enemies are so fucking gross. I hate them.
Which ones?
All of them. The ones with like the big shells that are just sort of floating off at the sides.
Fair enough.
Disgusting ass creatures. I will run them over with my car.
I'm just
Well,
picturing
that's not gonna work as well as you'd hope.
you driving around SSR 388, like just lava lakes and everything.
I'll borrow a truck. It'll be fine.
We'll bow to my big truck.
It's literally that drill essay about how I fucked my car up by running over a mattress on purpose.
You had to see what would happen.
Get Rich and Become God is perhaps one of the greatest writings of our generation. I also bought his other book, How to Win at Casino Games by Being a Bitch.
How was that?
It's very short, like 30 pages.
It's a how-to. It doesn't need to be a novel.
No, it doesn't need to be long. I was entertained by it from start to end, so for that
The beat
by
seal
that
of
metric,
approval.
it is a phenomenal success. One chapter is he just said, I think it was the chapter on craps. He just says this is the exact same shit as slot machines, so I'm just going to copy paste it with one word changed, and then he did.
This is what I'll take next time I go to the casino.
They will not take kindly to that.
It's fine.
No, it's fine. There's no law against being a bitch.
It's true. Many have attempted to put a law on the books. It's all died in committee.
Yay, you killed. Man, you are like cutting it super close on health on all these Metroids.
They
I
take
keep
off
going,
a lot of
okay,
health.
I'm gonna
They're
die.
powerful Metroids.
Yeah. I keep thinking, oh yeah, he's totally gonna die this time, and he doesn't. And I get mad about it because I want to see you die. I want to watch you suffer,
I mean,
Gogglebub.
I would have died to that beam boss if I didn't accidentally discover you could just shoot it with missiles.
By being
I'm going
told you
full-
should try shooting it with missiles.
I'm really good at that. I saved the day. I'm taking full credit.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Me.
Oh my god, the Flying Warriors comic is so good.
What is the Flying Warriors comic? I don't know what that is.
Flying Warriors was an NES game released by Culture Brain.
Oh,
And,
is that the one where like half of the panels are just like photographs of someone's TV?
Oh yeah, that's real. That's really good because they did not have screen capture. They didn't have screen capture tech on hands. They would just take photographs of a TV as the game was playing, and the other half of the panels are done by I think one of the guys who got kicked out of Kazuo Koike's Gekiga University. So
You
it's
must return to the age of Gekiga.
oh my god, we have to. But no, this is Gekiga except for small children, and it is
Which you would think would be manga, but it turns out no.
No, this is the thing. Oh, isn't that just mine? No, this is Gekiga for small children. And as I'm reading it, I realize just how much of my personal, like, warped aesthetics, how much I owe to reading this when I was like 5.
Why are you going up, Goggle Bob? You should be. Oh, you're saving. You know,
Seems like the
Brain
fastest
altering.
way to get there.
so like someone without the strength of their convictions.
I like having full health. It's a rarity.
Ta-da! Missile upgrade! Yay! Good job. We're all so proud of you.
Oh god, they
That
also had the
sounded
Adventures of
very
Game Pro.
sarcastic.
Is that the No, that's not. That's fuck Game
Screw
Pro.
attack.
That was the one where everybody had their fucking OC, right?
Game Players.
No,
was the one
that's
with all those
that's
Game
Game Fan. You're thinking of
Game Fan. Game Fan was the one where they all had their like company mandated OC. And frankly, if you told me that I had to have a company mandated OC, I'd be like, well, good, I already have one. It's a skill.
Exactly.
The big problem
That's
that you
very
had
easy for
with
me.
the big problem is the Game Fan sometimes had multiple aliases for the same person. I think
Yeah, no, Dave Halverson, for instance, had like
there were times where he was just reviewing the same game like 2 or 3 times under different guises.
I can only imagine
Sounds
him
like
like
my
saying
ideal
it was
job.
great, I liked it, and then the next time saying I already said it was great, I liked it. So this time I gotta say, I thought it was good. Very nice.
Like it was Game Fan, so it was always like very enthusiastic. So all of them were like, "This is amazing."
oh man.
How many different...
These doors take way too long to open. I hate these doors.
Oh,
Fuck
you're
these
gonna hate
doors.
them more if memory serves. This actually leads... This is one of the more, let's say, interesting moments in this remake. Completely, like, invented whole cloth for this.
Okay. I mean,
A
that's
lot of
cool.
what we've been
like,
seeing for the last little while has been invented whole cloth.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
basically
like
turned
when
into
when
full
you're
fan
working,
game.
when the template you're working from is fucking Metroid 2, you're allowed to take loads of. Okay, this is wrong though. Wow. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck whoever made this. I'm so fucking mad.
Well, what we just did with the Chozo Ruins, those were
Fucking shit.
very much in the
Yes!
original Metroid 2. Just, like, it was your imagination making it anything more than it was. But that whole, like,
Yeah.
tower
Imagination,
area
your mind makes it real.
was definitely in the
You are a
original.
prisoner of your own mind.
We are all
Congratulations.
prisoners of our own mind.
It's true. That's some Garth Marenghi level dark,
Dark place.
self-exposure. Yeah.
Well, now think about it. Nobody can die our death. It is the loneliest and most personal moment we'll ever have.
True. It's true.
Also, I, however, can experience Goggle Bob's death because I'm going to kill him if he keeps thinking he's fucking slow. You didn't need to bomb those. You could have just shot downwards.
We are using
You're
our
still
bombs
doing
as much
it.
as we can.
They're just destructible blocks. Why must you torture me?
What have you done to Beef? He now lives in a universe of pain.
I was born. Oh god, it's this shit again. Oh wait, no, there's only 2. They had something resembling a restraint there.
Wait, why must he torture you so? I feel like that's payback for some sort of mutual.
No,
Damn.
this is completely unfair reading of the situation.
Yeah, like I don't know where you came up with that, but you're just
That's simply a hateful statement.
yeah. It's
Sorry, I
better.
was reheating Thanksgiving leftovers for like the 5th day in a row, and I was away, and I just, sorry if I misunderstood.
It's okay.
It's cool. We are all having
you're
fun here.
you're on thin ice, but it's all right.
This is my warning.
It's the only warning you'll get. Oh, Goggle Bob. Earlier today, you informed me the I think you were at least involved in for me. I don't know. About the horrible thing HBO Max. I guess it's just Max now.
Oh yes, yeah.
Fucking horrible.
They're
Is doing.
You want to say it?
They're taking away 12-ounce mouse.
No,
Which,
no.
Fine. You know, it's super easy to pirate. But what the fuck, man? Why would you do that?
I'm not fully certain what they're going to have after this content purge.
I mean, my impression is that they are doing something to.
It's all the same. Oh well, if we take it down, we no longer have to like pay royalties on it. Shit, it's never anything different.
Yeah, I'm just like, what is the service going to have?
Right, they'll have nothing left to stream.
They'll have Flash. You will watch Flash.
I
Do
will
they
not.
have Flash? Isn't that just on fucking Netflix? I have a TV in front of me right now. I'm gonna fucking confirm.
And Doom Patrol, I think.
You will
that might
watch
be the
Doom
other
Patrol. That's
Oh
it.
yeah,
Right.
fucking Doom Patrol.
Remember when they had an entire streaming service that was just shitty live-action DC shows?
No.
They
Was
did.
it called
Yeah.
CW?
It was fucking like it had DC
It
in
was
the
called
name.
DC Nation or some shit.
Oh god,
I think
it was
that's where
horrible.
Stargirl premiered.
That was how you
Losing
had.
my mind.
Okay,
Like,
I will.
like if you had just said, "Oh, there's a Stargirl TV show," no one would have believed you.
I have seen the Stargirl TV show.
It
And
wasn't
is
bad.
actually pretty good.
It was not an argument in terms of like whether it was a problem. It was like whether it was bad. It was an argument of no one would have believed it was real because who was looking at DC Nation?
Yeah, exactly.
And who would look at that slate of programming and walk away sane enough to run a streaming platform?
Okay, here we go. F L. Holy shit. Okay, L A.
It was like
They do not have the fucking Flash show on here. That's on Netflix.
Oh man.
They have The Flash, 2023, starring Michael Keaton.
I
No,
do
that's
love
it. That's
that
it. That's what you will watch. You will watch
that's
Flash.
that is not what fucking like AV was always talking about the Flash.
I was always talking about the Flash.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so I got it
The
confused.
CW has their own streaming.
They do.
Yeah.
It is hysterical.
So
that's-
I got.
All the DC shows, right?
Yeah, all of them. pretty
It
much.
used to be okay, so I got it confused because like DC Nation was like some cartoon block. DC Universe or whatever was like it was a separate streaming thing that you had to pay separate for.
Yeah, that's where the Harley Quinn show got started. I've seen.
Yeah, I forget what it
people-
was called.
People
though.
fucking love that show. I have not watched it.
I recommend it.
amazing.
It's funny.
I've heard good things, but it's one of those things I haven't gotten around to it because I don't get around to a lot of TV shows, to be honest. But
No,
That's fine.
That-
That's
that
fine.
means
you're
you're
lacking
sane.
nothing.
but in general, like it was just one of those things. Like that idea was preposterous. The notion that like there was that people would just like pay for a streaming service that was nothing but a slate of terrible live action DC shows and the occasional gem. Like no, that's
Yeah, no, like
that
like
person
the,
doesn't
uh,
That's
exist.
outrageous. That's truly, truly outrageous.
the hit versus miss ratio on DC shows is just super fucking dire.
It's like the
And I
Marvel
say this
one.
as I say this as the fucking weirdo who actually unironically stands several of them.
Like I said, it's like the Marvel shows. It's like most of these are really bad. It's not
Marvel
Brains,
shows,
realize
okay,
this
like
is awful.
if we take Marvel shows like as a holistic whole, yeah, they're fucking dog shit. I guess technically, the Netflix ones drag them down somewhat since the Disney Plus ones tends to hover around barely acceptable. And hell,
The
I'll say
Netflix
it.
ones were usually-
Loki was pretty good. It gets
The
it
Net-
gets a solid B plus.
I would argue that the
You have
Netflix
to
ones were
fucking wait for the
usually.
doors to open.
Yes, you do.
I would argue that the Netflix ones were at least usually more interestingly bad.
Okay, so Jessica Jones, I would say, was interestingly bad because you had to have a very special sort of brain to create
To
to will
produce
that
this.
into existence.
Yeah, we're gonna hire Doctor Who, and he's gonna rape and murder.
Yeah, no,
that
it's
is exactly
literally
what happened.
True again.
What if Doctor
Yeah,
Who
I
was a
didn't make it
rapist?
past the first episode because of that.
That's understandable.
No,
Reasonable.
like I made it to the end of the first episode because that's where you hear David Tennant's voice, and that was enough for me to be like, nope.
I don't need
As
this
train
in my
wrecky as the
life.
rest of the show was, and I would have kept watching that. And I haven't read any of the comics, so I don't know if that's a huge important plot point. But that was enough for me to nope out.
That's fair.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
Having
David.
not watched the comics but read the whole having not read any comics but watched the whole thing, I would say that it is some seriously gripping television right up until episode 10. And at that point, you should just make up your own ending. And just skip
I've got an
whatever's
ending.
next.
I mean,
Yeah, just-
that also, when you say episode 10, that really was the first time it was really emblematic of what would happen with Netflix shows, and
Oh, yeah.
would
Oh,
then
yeah.
happen again and again.
It happened so many fucking times.
Just
It was kind of
basically,
incredible.
they had a clear story that would work really great with like 8 episodes, but they had 12
But they had an
episodes. or
episode
however
order
many
of
it was.
12.
Yeah, that
So they had
happened
to have
so
an
many
episode
fucking
where everyone
times.
kind of stood around.
But Marvel Netflix especially, ran into that in weird ways, and it was super obvious because Daredevil season 1, actually pretty great start to end, sure, and you're like, okay, this is cool as hell.
The thing I remember the most about Daredevil season 1 is everyone sitting around like, how can this show be good?
Yeah, because it shouldn't be.
This should be awful. This should
Yeah,
be,
it should be awful, but no, it's actually kind of great. And
it
then
should be like
Jessica Jones.
so bad it is a sin.
And then Jessica Jones was actually pretty gripping and like, oh wow, what's gonna happen next? Right up until episode 10, at which point you went, oh, the realization set in. And then
I no longer want to know.
Luke Cage was pretty good until episode 6, and you're like, oh,
That one hurt me because I wanted nothing more than to have a good Luke Cage series.
It's
That's
it's
it.
just
That's
getting
all
lower.
I asked
There
for is
really
good
were
Luke
6
Cage.
good episodes of that. I do have to
There
say.
really were. And then all of a sudden, the really compelling villain was suddenly dead, and in his place was this lady who was just awful.
Yeah, no,
and,
like spoilers
There's
for the
this
Luke Cage
weird
series.
step on me mommy aspects to her relationship with the dude in it, with the other bad dude. Weird, like uncomfortable to watch.
and
And
also
and then the other main villain was some jackass running around screaming quotes from the Warriors in a Humvee while he blew up ambulances.
To be fair, that sounds like it should own in isolation, but
It does, right? How do you fuck that up? It didn't work, Goggle Bob. Your power bomb didn't work. You need
nothing
to.
worked on the bubbles.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Those bubbles are just too strong.
we have been abandoned by God.
You must become the bubble to pass through the bubble.
And then I
Let's
wrote a
go get the
fucking
bubble
essay
power.
about all the myriad ways Iron Fist sucked, and nothing was good after that. It was all just terrible.
There's one of those things where it's like every time, it just took less and less time to get to the point where it sucked ass. And
Yeah,
by
so
the time
Iron
you hit
Fist-
Iron Fist, it was just bad from the start.
Yeah,
Well,
Iron Fist did not even bother being good.
Iron Fist came from such a bad concept in the first place because it was basically like you're making this in what was it, like the 2010s or something?
Yeah, it was like 2014 or 2015.
2014. And this is a story that right off the bat is like a major white savior thing. Like this rich white guy shows up in generic Asian land and then becomes the master of kung fu. Like
Yeah,
like
no,
just
it's worse than that actually.
well, just to look at
because
that on
it
like a
came-
storyboard, like you see where the
Oh
problem
yeah, all
is.
by itself, you're already super fucked.
You don't
up.
need
Right.
to reach a storyboard. You need a pitch meeting.
Yeah,
And then-
like
And the thing is they then went with that idea without changing it, and then just kind of making it worse by making like his number one problem in the show that he was too rich to do anything. Like that was
Yeah,
the
that's-
conflict for a great many episodes. Was that he was so super rich that it was annoying,
yeah.
and
No,
they
I
hung a
think-
whole series on that.
I think my favorite part in all of Iron Fist was actually in season 2. where the evil sister, whatever her fucking name was, I don't give a shit, says, and this is like an actual line that is supposedly taken seriously, "Oh, it's so easy to judge people by their actions." It's like, what the fuck do you judge people by?
Many questions about what I should be judging them by
Much to
instead
consider.
of that.
Yeah.
Much to consider.
So just for clarification, how is that one different from Arrow, other than the DC versus Marvel?
It wasn't.
I mean, well,
Who's Arrow?
Arrow at least had the sort of
Arrow had
training
like an
thing.
identity of its own, I would say, and like it also ran for a really long time, which meant that it had opportunities to get bad and good in weird ways.
Well, I mean specifically when you're talking about rich white guy problems.
Oh, Jesus, I don't fucking know.
I mean,
It's
rich
hard
white
to
guys-
underestimate.
I don't have a problem with rich white guys.
I have
my
a
only
problem with
is that
rich
I give
white
me their
guys, too.
money. Ho!
It's hard to underestimate how much Iron Fist made, like, having money the problem that had to be dealt with. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think in Arrow there's ever a point where Ollie's like, oh no, if I don't deal with moving my money around, I can't save the city. Like,
Okay.
he's wealthy, but it is just kind of like
Yeah,
part of his skill
When
set.
are we
He's-
getting a fucking
Look, all you need to know about Arrow is that the creators really, 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 really wanted to make Batman, but they got Arrow, so you know they just made do.
when are we getting a superhero version of
They
Brewster's
made
Millions?
duty.
I mean, I do want to point out that something that is, I feel, overlooked every time people talk about comic book TV shows is that we got something like 5 seasons out of iZombie. So, like, that was a
I
thing that
couldn't watch that shit.
I'm in
Agents of-
season 2.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. somehow went on for like 6 seasons. I don't know.
That
how
went
that
on
happened.
entirely too long.
Yeah, obviously.
And I watched every single season of it.
Peggy
so
Carter,
sorry.
Agent of Steel, is Shield
Peggy
is
Carter.
still
man.
is still on the air as we speak.
That can't be real. You were fucking lying.
No,
Has
it's
been
not.
running nonstop since 2009.
It's like the secret Vatican vault of Dragon Ball Z episodes where they keep where new ones just keep happening. We don't know how.
Exactly. They keep popping up like it's fucking.
Yeah, it's like every time they check, there's like 500 more episodes of Dragon Ball Z in there.
They're legally qualified as some sort of miracle.
What, no,
Not like the
what
one
I made that
Peggy.
shit up, fanboy. Technically, I
No, I
stole
know,
it from
I'm
Mag
making
Flare.
Yeah, I know.
What did you say about Carter?
About
I
what?
didn't.
Agent
What?
Carter? Did somebody say something about Agent Carter?
It's still on TV.
Yeah,
Still going
never
strong.
stopped. We are at season what, 19 now? It's
Yeah,
very
yeah, it's incredible. It is single-handedly
Don't lie
keeping
to me.
keeping the Koreans from taking over global pop culture. Carter is standing the breach.
Don't lie to me like that.
I'm
I mean,
gonna
they
lie to
evidently
you.
felt so bad about how Agent Carter worked that they basically made the Agent Carter Captain America like they
The
made
what
it part
if?
of the What If thing, and they made it part of the Doctor Strange movie for whatever reason.
Because they were just throwing like other universes at the wall. You want to see this one? How's this look? You like this? Oh, I guess not.
The
You
entire
like this
point.
I
one?
mean,
God
it was
bless.
nice to see Patrick Stewart.
Okay, so
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's
What
always
If
fun to see
is-
Patrick Stewart doing whatever.
What
Yeah.
If is super hilarious to me because they couldn't like What If is like the most obvious fucking slam dunk ever.
Mhm.
You don't even need to try with that shit.
Right.
Like, just do the
And they
fun
didn't.
things.
Yeah, just do the just like what if everybody like fucking like fought with like fucking Hot Wheels cars,
Yeah.
like or some shit, you know? This
The
it's
only-
very
the only-
easy.
The only rules for What If are that, one, Spider-Man has to die in the most convoluted way imaginable,
Obviously,
and two, yeah, you just do some sort of stupid fan servicey shit. Why not? Wait, what?
Like, it doesn't have to matter to anything. In fact,
Yeah,
it
like-
shouldn't.
you don't have to like. It's not a case where like you have to be worried about the canon, because the entire point is that you're saying fuck the canon. Who gives a shit? And somehow
we're going to make
okay,
comics as dumb as they were in the 60s, just for one moment.
Exactly. Like, like fucking like make the Mandarin Dirk Dastardly from fucking Wacky Races.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. My nipples hurt just thinking about it.
I'm still upset that they backtracked on their idea for the Mandarin fucking Iron Man 3.
I loved that because
because like the notion of the Mandarin is like fucking. Oh man, it costs money to license. Like it was literally it cost money to license Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
Like, and not also, even a joke. That is literally what happened.
I maintain that Iron Man 3 is the single best movie in all of the fucking MCU because it's literally just, hey, Tony Stark has a character arc and it ended. You're allowed to like have it end.
The thing about the Mandarin walkback is just that the whole concept of the Mandarin in that is that they are creating a fake enemy so that way they can fund war.
Yeah, it's playing on Yellow Peril. Like, that is the whole
Yellow
thing.
Peril, and it's the idea basically that like this is fake, but we're going to make a war out of it anyway. We're going to literally make war machines because of this fake thing we made up. And if you then
exactly, that's brilliant. And that's actually really fucking good.
Say that was real.
There was totally a real Mandarin, and he's super upset that they made a fake Mandarin.
But the fact that you get such a huge name to play that character and don't you I don't want to say don't use it again because they did, but like it made
but the real Mandarin was just a different dude.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, like, if Shang-Chi was not terrible airplane watching, but, like, I'm not going to say it was go to the movies watching.
I also don't feel like you needed the Mandarin to make it.
I saw it in the drive-in, rather.
Yeah. Like, I just feel like there's
just
no
watching
need to...
a movie in your car is a cool thing, like intrinsically.
But like
it's not.
In a broader sense, I would just say that like the existence of the Mandarin, good or ill, is not for good or ill what sank or what made Shang-Chi sink or swim. You did not need like this specific evil like Yellow Peril Chinese man as the villain.
He wasn't even relevant. Again, big name actor, they brought him back, but it wasn't exactly relevant to the storyline.
Fucking, why can't I remember his name?
Kingsley,
yeah.
As Trevor Slattery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hilarious.
Trevor
he was so good. Like, that was part of what made it work, is that, like, the casting is you get someone that's super, like, noteworthy and cool like Ben Kingsley, and then you
just cut him loose. You just let him do what he wants to do. Because he's hilarious.
Yeah, like, he's just, like, you just let him play, like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of a weird dirtbag.
Like the line where where Cody assumes that like when he mentions drugs, he's like, they'd get you off drugs? No, they'd give me more. They gave me so much heroin.
Like that was fun. Like that was a fun thing to do, and then it's just like because there's like Marvel fans who are like, no, we need the original Yellow Peril man, the Mandarin.
Yeah.
It's like,
this is a bad choice, guys. We'll tell you when it's a bad choice.
You can pull one of the, like, Shang-Chi is one of those properties where it's like there are no iconic Shang-Chi villains. You can just make one up or steal one. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It really does.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing my ass off the idea of like of Marvel just overcracking. It's like, we apologize for moving the Yellow Peril element from these villains. We will not stop until the United States reenacts the Chinese Exclusion Act. through the power of
we
our
have
media.
purchased the full rights to the terror of Fu Manchu.
Wait, are you
I
saying
mean, they can
Marvel
afford it now. Also, hi,
He's
Kelsey.
saying-
How are you?
Yo,
Yeah.
you're all right. Are you saying Marvel fans demanded there be a racism?
There were Marvel fans who were fucking furious that Iron Man 3 made the Mandarin a fake character.
I love it. I love it.
Annoyed because it feels like a dead end of a storyline that they spent so much time building up. From a story perspective, not from any knowledge of the comic book situation, like I understand that there are certain directions they might not want to go, but from a casual, I'm watching for continuity purposes, I was pissed. You know,
I
like,
never saw that. Like, I never connected any sort of dots that are like, these can only be fulfilled by the Mandarin.
Yeah, like there was nothing there, but like, you have to have a racist character.
oh no,
Holy fuck! No, I am now looking up the origins of Fu Manchu, and this sucks so much.
I mean, like, I
According
don't
to
know
his
why
own
you would do
account,
that to yourself. I feel like
I
you
was
made a critical error.
determining who owns the copyright to Fu Manchu.
Okay, so who does own the copyright? I really hope it's like.
First, I need to start with this nightmare.
Oh, here we go.
According to
my
his own
body
account,
is ready.
According to his own account, Sax Romer decided to start the Fu Manchu series after his Ouija board spelled out Chinaman when he asked what would make his fortune.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
I'm floating. I am floating 8 inches above the ground right now.
I am. My third eye is opened, and all I see is
Completely
8.
This is like when I learned that the Merkava tank is literally piloted by an internal iPad.
So you're
much.
telling me that this dude was like doing the age-old because this has happened so many fucking times. The age-old practice of summoning the dead and demanding they make you rich.
And the devils that came said racism shall make your fortune.
That's it. This is-
Morning Song once told me this, and I have to relay this to you now. One of the first seances that made the news, people got super excited about, was supposedly some dead guy. Who cares, right? But the thing about the thing was that the guy asking the supposed ghost, and obviously it was just a dude behind the curtain, whatever, questions, was not asking about the secrets of the afterlife, of the nature of the soul, or anything any sane person would ask someone when making contact with someone from beyond the veil. It was, where's pirate treasure buried?
Oh, yeah.
Where do I get the gold?
I love that Wikipedia has the audacity to have a subheading "Accusations of Racism."
Accusations.
Well, it's not about the racism of Fu Manchu itself. It's about the accusations pointing out such potential racism.
As I should bring up that this is the Ouija board origin is disputed. Another person claimed that he saw a music hall magician that was a white man in yellowface.
Oh, well, that's so much better.
And then goes on to say, as for Romer's theories concerning, quote, Eastern devilry and the, quote, unemotional cruelty of the Chinese, he seeks to give them intellectual credentials by referring to the travel writings of Bayard Taylor. Taylor was a would-be ethnographer, that's always a scary phrase.
That's a horrifying phrase.
Who, though
I'm a
unversed,
self-taught race scientist.
though unversed in Chinese language and culture, used the pseudoscience of physiognomy to find in the Chinese race, quote, deeps on deeps of depravity so shocking and horrible that their character cannot even be hinted. Romer's protagonists treat him as an authority.
Oh my God.
There are just
There are
depth
layers
and,
upon fucking
layers of racism.
I should have sent a poet.
It is impossible to it is you peel infinite layers back and you just find racism against Chinese people over and over and over, and you just keep peeling back. It's like, does it go further? No, it's more.
It is kind of impressive, like how the racism mutated, though. Like at first, it's just like, oh, I asked my Ouija board, and it told me racism.
And then another guy is like, no, he went and watched a racist minstrel show.
Yeah, he went to
He himself is not racist. He was simply the.
And then
he was simply
all of his,
captivated with childlike wonder at the racism of a minstrel show.
but also all of his characters treat as an authority a guy whose entire career was essentially fucking like trying to make science out of his hatred of Chinese people.
Race science is such an incredible phrase because it's so fucking evil.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like it is so like just the phrase just brings out like nothing good can come of this. Not a single thing.
It's like, excuse me, my good man, are you filled with a boiling chemical hatred of those who look different from yourself? Have you considered a career in the burgeoning field of race science? It just makes
I have some fine calipers to sell you.
Yeah, it's like
it always comes down to me.
it's always fucking measuring skulls.
Oh god.
Oh god, now I'm thinking about the fucking Key and Peele skit about a Nazi, a literal Nazi, trying to determine if they're black by measuring their heads and saying they always come in half sizes.
I like Fu Manchu, a character so profoundly racist that there were complaints that like the film adaptation The Mask of Fu Manchu was racist in 1932.
I mean, I do have to say that things like this was actually something I had a conversation with my grandfather back when he was alive. Like, we kind of overestimate how much everyone understood racism was happening, but you didn't say anything about it because you were pretty afraid, like, someone would literally beat you with a baseball bat because you were pointing out something was racist. Like, this is something that, it's I don't know, it's...
To this day, like, the one thing racists, like, get super up in arms about is how dare you point out that what I said was racist.
Right, exactly. Just back in that day, it was a lot more likely the local constabulary would look the other way every single time.
Yeah, it's like okay, something that like continues to blow my mind to this day was I was talking to some guy and like they said no, some dumbass on Twitter was like actually they directed me to an interview of the racist in question where the news asked him, "Sir, are you a racist?" And he said no. But therefore, you couldn't be racist. And I'm like, why the fuck are we asking people if they're racist? They all know the correct answer, dumbass.
It is only the most deranged humans who just respond to that with "Yes, I am."
Yeah, I'd be surprised if anyone did.
And even those fucking guys, like, will still have people
usually
saying,
know the lie.
Actually,
You know who recently came out with a statement, an anti-racist statement?
Oh.
The Ku Klux Klan.
fucking A.
I'm sorry, what?
The KKK
Now make free.
recently released a statement saying that it was time to set aside racism and ethnic hatreds so that everyone can come together under the America First banner of the KKK.
We are seeking to become a big tent.
It's like you walk inside and there's the fucking Dusty Rhodes promo where he's saying, "I will wrestle a Greek."
So my favorite thing that is making me want to die while reading this article that has already made me want to die several times is this quote under the subheader of accusations of racism. Romer responded to charges that his work demonized Asians in Master of Villainy, a biography co-written by his widow. It said as follows. Quote, of course, not the whole Chinese population of Limehouse is criminal, but it contained a large number of persons who had left their own country for the most urgent of reasons. These people knew no way of making a living other than the criminal activities that had made China too hot for them. They brought their crimes with them. And it's just
So
like
that was his way of saying. Actually,
that was his
I'm
argument
not
for why
racist.
he wasn't being racist. It's just like
Oh,
no.
Lord.
You see, I met these immigrants and they were all criminals because it came from. It's just like
Oh, right, and Italians are all
saying.
Italians are all mafias too, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
Italians
this-
are all mafia. I should know. I've spoken to many Italians.
and every Greek is a fisherman.
I was surprised by the by the presence of Greeks in particular here.
I just love that our country, only got over being viciously racist against Greeks in like the last 50 years.
That's kind of incredible.
There's a bunch of them
70s.
that's just like, oh yeah, the people who had any sort of capacity to immediately identify someone who was Greek all died.
Yeah, and so and of course the racists, as they do ever so often, when they realize, ooh, we're running out, we're running out of people who aren't them, they'll just like run around and grab people by the shoulders and yell, "You're white now."
Yeah, whiteness is ever expanding and ever contracting.
It is
the thing
whatever
about it.
makes for a useful political coalition
Yeah.
at that exact moment.
Exactly, and again, but up until that point, oh, Greeks.
Yeah. That's how you get shit like the LGB Alliance, which is totally gay rights, except for trans people.
No.
Oh, wow. I don't see this biting me in the ass.
This definitely isn't an attempt to peel off support. That'd be silly.
Yeah, no.
So excuse me, I'm going to go make common cause with the Proud Boys and this Identity Evropa group. Ooh, very interesting.
Look how classy that name is.
Yeah,
That's
see?
a quality name.
Right.
Yeah, that's-
So I need to know now if the KKK is claiming themselves not racist. What do they stand for in the first place?
They are
America.
for the they're for America now, and also the imposition of brutal program of border extermination.
Yeah, but not for race.
Sorry, I
reasons.
asked.
Not for race reasons. Obviously, we put that behind us. Why are you bringing that up?
Yeah, why
But,
would you even say that?
But we've got to protect the people that are already here.
But they're not doing that either.
I hate the joke that I'm making, and I wish that I was dead.
Yeah, same.
Oh man, Jimmy Carter is
On
Jimmy
hospice.
Carter's looking rough.
I mean, his
Isn't
wife
he
just
like
died
90?
as well.
He's
95
99.
now?
He's
99
99. His
years
wife
old.
just passed.
You're allowed to look rough when you're 99.
And he's been on hospice since February.
Yeah.
So the fact that he
every day we
outlived
have
her-
more. Every day we have more Jimmy Carter is like is a blessing we can count.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just rough when you actually see how he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
As Yoda said, when 800 years you reach, look as good. You will not.
Bring back. I will just fondly remember the episode of King of the Hill where Jimmy Carter attempts to reconcile Hank and Cotton.
Oh my God, yes.
And the best that he can reach is that if both were presented a button that would eliminate the other from the universe, neither would press it.
there you go.
King of the Hill's so good.
So good. So good.
I'm not fully certain what this background wall is doing to you.
I think it prevents you from using any firing weapons.
I was gonna say it seems to disable my arm cannon
Yeah, like
and
Yeah.
bombs for that matter. But
yeah. So
theoretically, there is some way I'm supposed to be able to overcome this because I seem to be trapped in this area, and I'm not certain exactly what the solution here is, but I'm gonna find it.
So yeah, I'm just going to apologize to everyone who sat through that history of just brutal and heinous racism. My
Oh
apologies.
yeah, no,
for bringing
just
that up.
horrific racism. Because that's the even worse promise.
It did. I don't want to think of what it would look like if it got even worse from here.
We don't need that. We just don't need that. We'll probably get it, but we don't need it.
I would like to think that we have we have valleyed. Like it's not really peaking. It's the opposite of that. We have valleyed.
Have we reached our nadir? Have we?
Yeah.
Things can always get worse.
Don't you fucking
Even
say that
worse.
to me. I cannot. I will not. I will not contemplate that.
I remember as a dear friend, as a dear friend once put it. Remember, God is in control, and He can always make things worse.
Oh God, no.
That's not ominous.
Praise him.
Costume change.
Yay.
Does this mean you can go through the bubbles now?
Yep.
Yes.
Looks like I'm good now. I can go through the bubbles.
The bubbles.
Bibble.
Bibble, bibble.
You dare question the words of the mighty Jimmy!
the Bibble, Jimmy, and Kingdom Come. It took me until my second viewing to realize that like the shit that he's just rambling about it's all just the stuff that like the fucking like homeless guy that looks like he's pissed himself is always rambling.
Yeah.
Rama,
He's-
Alabama.
Because he's Gee Whiz. Me,
Yeah.
I'm Gee Whiz.
Aqua Teen
Hey,
Hunger
gee
Force.
whiz, can
Thank
you
you.
fly? But yeah, like the when there's like chanting like
Fanboy, the newest season of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, they brought it back. Started yesterday. Or
yeah,
day
I heard
before.
tell of that. I haven't picked it up yet.
I have seen it. Because I have
hear
a
it.
free Max subscription for my fucking homeowners association. No, that's not a joke.
Crap.
That's confusing.
The singular benefit of an HOA.
Yeah, exactly, right? What the fuck?
Aqua Teen. They should have retitled it to Aqua Teen Homeowners Association.
I really should have. But
They really should
I will
have.
say this. It is not titled a silly name, which upsets me because, you know.
It's
I was-
understandable since it's the first revival season.
Yeah, sure. But, you know, like, it should
is
have
a
been,
shame.
like, it should have been something like Aqua Teen, something, you know, whatever.
I still love Aqua something, you know, whatever's opening.
That's just best one. Like, Aqua TV shows is good, but something, you know, whatever is my favorite.
That one, like the way the animation goes completely nuts in certain.
Oh, yeah, no, it's very, very, I just love it. It's beautiful. But I will say this about the show. It feels like it has an animation budget now, and that's
That's
just
fucked up.
wrong.
I was about to
That's
say, what
fucked
the hell?
up.
The
Why
old
would you
show
do
was
that?
animated in Adobe Premiere.
Oh
That
my! So
explains an
the
awful lot.
So like the it's not really noticeable while watching the show because it's still very much Aqua Teen. But the intro is incredibly over animated, which I suppose is the joke. It's
Yeah.
like, haha, look at us, we're flexing. Which, okay,
We
cool,
came
whatever.
back.
We came back. We lived, bitch. I thought the 2 episodes that have released, both of them were very entertaining. I enjoyed them very much. It's Aqua Teen. It's exactly what it needs to be.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, they're obviously like have actual money to work with now. Not a huge amount. It's not like you know, it's doesn't look like, you know, fucking like a modern animated show. It's still Aqua Teen. But like there are those frames where where earlier there would never have been any frames, and you're sort of like, huh, how'd those get in there?
it's like this is
Somebody must have dropped the ball. Somebody screwed up because that's
Did
not
they
supposed
bring
to be there.
back? Did they bring back Schooly D though?
Yes,
Thank God.
I think they might have just edited like the original intro song because it's still the original intro song for this revival. But I think
Oh man, no, I'm watching.
they re-recorded it. I'm not sure.
I'm watching some of this animation. It fucks with me.
Yeah, seriously, right? You see it, and you're like, how'd this happen?
It wasn't supposed to be this way. I will always be a little sad that they never sprung the seemingly at one point intended title for Like, when they realized Aqua Teen Forever was going to be the last one, they called it Aqua Teen Forever.
Because that's the proper thing to do.
Yeah, but at one point, allegedly the plan was Aquativo Avoidance Plan.
Because you
And
can't
that's a
fucking
beautiful
look it up
thought.
on your TiVo. It's
Like, you
great.
cannot just set it to record that show because it's not identifying itself.
Yeah.
TiVo.
Aqua something.
All right, I'm gonna dump this in the group chat. This incredibly over-animated intro. I guess I'll just throw it in general. That's fine.
Or happen.
But yeah, no, fanboy, click that shit and tell
I'm
me
clicking.
like how uncomfortable or uncomfortable it makes you. Because it's like it's such a faithful recreation, and at the same time it feels so weird.
Oh,
And it's not like over animated compared to like fucking Aqua TV shows or something, whatever's intros, because those also were incredibly animated. But
but
seeing,
because it's specifically recreating the original.
yeah, it just feels like, what's going on? How'd this happen?
Man.
Oh, this is a nightmare.
The original is there. Or do I need to look it up myself?
I put it in the Discord, but I'll throw it in.
No, that's what I
as well.
said. Is there
asking for the
to
original.
compare, or do I have to look it up myself?
Oh, I'll get you the original too. I'm nice like that.
My name is.
Dang. I'm lazy, in case that was unclear today.
Bring it to ya.
Now I want someone to reanimate the BoJack Horseman opening with the
Oh,
same
God.
level of hyper animation.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not ready for that as a human.
All right, here is every Aqua Teen intro from start to end.
Jeez.
In case you want to watch 5 minutes, but you can just stop watching after 40 seconds if you just want to see the first.
I just want to watch all of them again.
Oh,
I mean,
so
I will
it
watch it start
speeds
to
it
end.
up
I don't give
and
a
that
fuck.
bothers you.
My
Name is.
Knocking them on top, rocking like a county while you're next. What you not
Making money, see.
Meanwhile, get the honeys, G, driving in my car.
I do love that they like animated the hell out of the bits of the original intro that were just completely still frames. Like
Yeah.
the like the squid and them stopping the bank robbing robots.
So Meatwad didn't
Shit like
have a
that
button
suddenly
here.
has,
Got it.
and them jumping out of like a helicopter.
Oh, that's animated now?
Yeah, it's animated
Yeah,
now.
Oh, that's crazy.
So Meatwad didn't have a butt in the original opening. Got it.
No, not
You
so
did
much. That's
Not so
actually a
much.
reference.
That's what I took away from that.
That is
Listen,
a reference to
it's a reference to
Forever.
the Octane Hunger Force Forever opening.
Yeah, there's some surprisingly complicated lore for these characters that previously had.
There really
4 frames
isn't.
of
There's no
animation.
continuity to speak of.
There's not continuity, but there is lore.
There's lore galore. I'm a poet.
I will forever be grateful that the original Aqua Teen movie came out on my birthday.
That was such a great thing to see in a theater with nothing but 5 dudes who were very obviously smoking weed.
Yeah.
There's no other way that I would expect people to be seeing Aqua Teen.
Sick.
Bob, Goggle Bob, you've been here before.
Yeah, no, I
Goggle
definitely
Bob.
took a wrong turn and got turned around in there.
Goggle Bob, what the
It's a
fuck?
confusing map because there's these stupid, like, things that
Yeah, the
connect.
teleport things. That seems just more annoying than it's worth.
It
Goggle Bob,
100%
you
is
shame us
more
all.
annoying than it's worth.
Yeah. It's like, how do you put a teleport maze in a Metroidvania? You do this shit.
Yeah, no, and this is vaguely shitty. Like,
Yeah,
I can
no.
This
see what
is
they were
an
going
idea
for.
that just doesn't quite work.
It makes it a non-standard map, which is kind of cool, but like they even put these arrows on the map because they clearly identified, oh, this is going to be bullshit.
Yeah. Which, fair, but like, also, just don't do that shit.
Yeah, that is my answer. Like, why you didn't have to do this in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
you could have
This
done
is
this
not-
slightly differently.
This is deeply unnecessary.
Let us all remember, though,
I'll be right back.
that at the very least, even though this game was C indeed for unsurprising reasons, its creator did did, in part because of it, get a job working on the second Ori and the Blind Forest game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh yeah, or that's a good fucking game.
Yeah, that game owns.
I have never beaten it. I likely never will, but
It's a fascinating like cross section of like Metroidvania and massive core platformer.
mm-hmm.
What game?
Ori.
Oh, I beat both of those games. I beat the second one on hard. It was
They're good.
shmoo good.
They're fun.
I almost 100% did the second one. I think it was just a couple things I didn't buy that I really didn't need. Yeah. But yeah, it sucks what happened with Moon Studios and all that stuff. They died of
Rip.
Ligma.
I get it.
You know, I saw the Stream Tunnel Beam Lady versus Space Blobs 2. Honestly, my first thought was Space Channel 5.
There's beams in that, but I wouldn't really identify her as a beam lady.
Well, if you consider like radio waves, those could be considered.
I would never think of that in that way, though. It's
She's
not
100%
the
a dancing
identification I would make.
I'm reaching.
I prefer Beam Lady.
Yeah.
Space Channel 5.
Oh, I found a way to kill Bubbles.
I think Samus and Ulala would be friends.
I hesitate to think of a heroic character that would not be friends with Ulala.
I can't imagine Samus really having friends, but I think they would be reasonably friendly associates.
Yeah, I think it would be like the
Alright,
wrestling minigame from Rhythm Heaven.
You had not, AB?
Yeah, it's late. I need sleep.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Rest well.
Have a
Good
good
night.
one.
I am turning 27 in 2 days.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to go to Don Julio, the local restaurant. Real good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So we were talking about fusion bosses returning. This is the
Yep.
ultimate fusion boss return.
In Amptoir?
Yes, in Amtar.
Okay.
Space Channel 5. Crime doesn't pay unless you get away. You won't
This
cause you
is
can.
that
Everybody's-
thing that you fight.
Everybody's streaming Lethal Company. I'm just thankful to see a stream that isn't Lethal Company.
That's funny. That was mentioned earlier.
Wait, what is Lethal Company?
It's the new Among Us. It's the new flavor of the month.
That explains
The gameplay isn't like Among Us apparently, but I call it anything that's a flavor of the month multiplayer game is an Among Us to me.
Crime doesn't pay unless you get away.
It's just really awkward when you accidentally put on your friend's Lethal Company stream and you listen to Goggle Pop's vocals or
Goggle
audio.
Bob is Lethal
Goggle
Company,
Bob.
though.
I'm my own
Burn!
best
Don't
Lethal
say that.
Company.
Don't say that.
Keep all good company.
So what do you have to do?
Queen in my
Hit
head
the
again.
belly on this thing? Or?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got the ice beam now, and I'm like
Yeah.
freezing parts of it, and then when it slows down a little bit, then I can hit the frozen parts with missiles.
But
Yeah,
it's
no, I,
dangerous.
like, I
because
was
it's missile
muted
weapons.
and I heard, I can kill the bubble things now, and I went, woohoo!
Now that bubble things are dead, we've got sea serpents to deal with.
You know, the usual. No big. Like, I did notice it's changing color, I just have no frame of reference here.
No frame of reference for
Yeah.
what that means.
Changing color is
Yeah.
good in a Metroid game.
I took
You
you for
ever-
10 seconds to get myself ice cream, and now you're fighting a big fish? What the fuck,
We're
man?
fighting the fish
That was
upstairs,
more than
remember?
10
I would
seconds.
call this the fish.
You should
Hey,
yeah,
Beat,
your ice cream
Beat,
killed
are
Goggle Bob.
you available this Thursday?
Baby. For what?
Birthday.
Fuck
Fine.
yeah, sure.
Cool. Yeah. I'll add you to the Discord group DM then, and also the missus is also invited.
Of course. Obviously, I take her
You,
because
you,
she wasn't.
you cannot invite Beat to something and expect him to not bring his wife.
Well, not to at least not at least invite my wife. Maybe she has something going on, but like you
Yeah.
know,
The option
But,
is there. That
hey, you
was
killed a fish. Good job.
Doing that
Now it can come back and
thing
do like
confusing.
or something.
breaking my heart into a million.
So this area has
pieces.
sucked, but I got the gravity thing. I got the screw attack. Like
The place to get the gravity suit always sucks, though. So
this is true.
Well, yeah, it always sucks because you're underwater and then you get it and you're like, okay, I can finally not move like I'm in sludge anymore.
We got the
yeah,
ice
but this
beam
has
too.
new and terrifying ways to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting into the end game here because I mean we've also the ice beam now signals that we'll be ready to take out Metroids.
I
And so
keep
you haven't
forgetting.
been taking out
Is
Metroid.
the Varia suit on the Varia suit, are the pauldrons supposed to be cooling tanks?
I don't know
Oh.
that I have ever read anything describing what they're doing in lore.
I feel like it might be fated that the Varia suit, that those pauldrons are cooling tanks.
I feel like the only place that would have given an explanation would have been like a scan in Prime, and I haven't played that in like 20 years.
A search Varia suit cooling tanks.
I mean, like sort of it just came up. I mean, the Varia suit in the original was basically just a color change, but
Yeah.
the Metroid 2 was when they first.
It needed to
made-
not be just a color change because
Yeah,
of the
because
whole.
they had to give it a purpose. And with that in mind, that's when the art style also started giving Samus gigantic shoulders. So it might have just been a coincidence, so to speak.
Okay, that is a good point. Yeah.
But also a random bit on that is just that you're dealing with, like, I remember there's always been kind of the, like, I think Prime even went and did something with this, but just the idea that Samus's shoulder pads somehow facilitate her turning into a ball easily. Because, you know,
Just
otherwise-
orbing
But
around.
She
Yeah,
could
there-
always morph ball without it. is the
She
thing.
could always morph ball without it, but it's just kind of one of those Nintendo things where it's like, why can this character do this? And then they kind of gradually make it something that makes a little bit more sense.
Okay. Yeah.
But, you know, who the hell knows?
I imagine that the gigantic shoulder pads she has are just like her, assuming her final form as a very powerful woman from the 1980s.
I thought you were gonna say
technically-
Final Form as I thought you were gonna give spoilers for Fusion, say or spoilers for Dread, and say Final Form as a Metroid.
Meeproid.
Now you have to use the wall climb thing.
Well, I mean, I had to because there were spikes. I don't
You
want to
say in
get
the
bitten.
past.
So
That sounds
You
like
forget
coward
that we're
talk.
like
So I think the gravity suit, the purple creates like heavy. It makes you heavier in water and regulates I don't know.
Well, I mean, it is
I don't know.
it is technically
Magic,
called
got it.
the gravity suit, so it is. This is supposed to have always been a
get out of here with
space
your
suit,
logic, Gogglebob.
even though you're on planets.
Like I said, magic, got it.
Yeah. Purple is the magical color. That makes it work.
Yep.
So when will Samus get her own set of Spike Buster armor?
Never.
As soon as she figures out the secret of taking a nap where a succubus attacks you.
I'm missing a key reference here.
Symphony of the Night.
Ah,
There's a save point that it's just a fake save point that's just a boss encounter with
It's
Succubus.
called Spike Breaker, I think, in Symphony. Yeah, but you said Spike Buster. Isn't that the name Mega Man X uses, or?
Oh, it's been forever.
Okay.
The actual X Buster is something that Mega Man uses.
Yeah.
God, now I'm remembering that like armor that lets you walk on spikes in X5. Mega Man X5 sucks ass. Fuck Mega Man X5.
Was
Damn.
that? Yeah, okay, that
Fanboy
was
coming out
5.
swinging today.
But the one where they made a big deal about it was 6.
Was
Where
it?
they, oh,
You know-
this is cool.
5 has like 3 different sets of armor.
You know what it is though? It's that 6 came out the same year as 5, so people hate on that one more.
No, they're like a
No,
year.
there's reasons
they're
to
like
hate 6.
there's reasons to hate 6, but it's also like I think they're a year apart. Beyond that, like,
Or not.
but beyond that, like, I don't care about it in relation to 6 or whichever. Like, X5 is one of those things where like the game is super bad, but also like the fandom like fully convinced itself that it was like paying something off, and it super isn't. It's like they just said like, oh, this is the last one now, so
Okay, so
X and Zero have to fight.
you're kind of half right. They're like exactly a year apart. One was
Yeah,
like
that's what I thought.
November 30th, 2000 in Japan, and then the other was November 29th, 2001 in Japan. But in America, they both came out in January, December of 2001.
Yeah, but
Well, X5,
Yeah, but-
theoretically, I will agree with those that say that it's paying something off plot-wise, because they've been teasing that X and
so
Zero
they've been
would have to fight since X2.
So they've been
the alley.
teasing that. So they had been teasing that, but like, there's no actual build up to it, and when it happens in X5, they never actually justify it
Well,
in
yeah,
the canonical
100%.
ending.
What's it like? Okay, I gotta ask because I'm a big old dumbass who doesn't know anything about Mega Man. What does Zero and X even disagree on?
In the canonical
they-
ending, absolutely nothing.
I mean, that is kind of the joke, because the whole thing going on in X is basically that X and Zero were created by Wily and Light, who obviously fought for years. And then they kind of get activated, and they're super best buds. And it's
After
always
Zero
been
has like a weird evil underflow error.
I was about to say, but like the dramatic irony that the audience knows that they don't necessarily know is that they were created to kill each other. So logically, at some point, they're going to have to kill each other. But because
Yeah,
the
but
X,
they don't have to. Like isn't that the
They-
whole point that they grew beyond?
well,
who
that's the
made
idea
them?
of the dramatic irony, and also the fact that these are freaking action games where they barely have dialogue to begin with. So they were never going to get to a point where they could justify one way or the other. Like they're
Like,
basically
they had tons of cutscenes in like X4 and X5, and like they never even attempt to build towards it. Like, if you get the super bad ending, Zero gets like a virus and you have to fight him, kind of. If you get the good ending that the game considers to be the real one, they just sort of fight for no reason.
Well, they fight for like the dumbest reason, but legitimately, it is also a fight that lasts like 30 seconds.
It's not even
like,
the last fight. It should be the like, if you're pretending that like this is a climax that is paying off all of these like hints that don't go anywhere. It should at least be like the last fight or something, but it's not. It's not even a particularly interesting fight.
Was it an X game or a Zero game that you played on stream and looked really bad?
That was X7, and oh lord.
Oh yes, X7. I forgot about when we played that.
People hate on X6, and X6 is bad, but I'll give them that they only had like 5 months of actual development.
And also, it is very much an X game. Like it's a 2D action game where things could be better, but it is very much a 2D action game.
Like there are
X7
there are stages in X6 that if they had had like a proper development time and any sort of budget would have been pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff in there that's like, this could have been neat. And then like X7 is just like one of those, it's like Sonic 06, like no amount of time would have made this good. God, X7 so bad.
I could
I
have
love
made
the-
Sonic 06 good.
No,
I
I'm
could've-
sorry.
I could have.
Poisoned from birth.
Are
could've
you
made
still
Sonic 06
including a
good.
psychic hedgehog from the future?
Yes.
Sonic- friend
Sonic
with that.
06 was Sonic 06 is weighed down by the weight of original sin.
What
That's-
original what?
Exactly.
There's no further depth to that joke. You just have
He's
to
saying
accept
that he's saying that Sonic 06 ate of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but didn't actually learn
chose
anything, which is
evil.
kind of fucked up.
it. No, it learned. It chose evil. Sonic 06 has nothing but hate in its heart.
Can't you just shoot it with ice beams? Isn't it a Metroid?
Actually, can I?
No, it's a pig. Remember?
No, it's a
I
pig.
almost thought like
Not a
Shin
pig.
Megami Tensei was being like it had some effect on Sonic, which they're owned by Atlas. It might eventually. Oh yeah, it did. There was a Persona costume in Forces.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, that
like
happened.
at launch.
Yeah.
But yeah, my personal favorite thing about X7 might be just like one of the ones that's like every individual working on it like made a poor choice at least at some point, and one of my personal favorites is like whatever artist was tasked with Sigma and drew him in like this weird Buzz Lightyear outfit.
I applaud that artist.
Hey, Mega Man X6 Sigma was like the best part because literally the whole
X7
point is that he's barely
I was meaning
revived
X7, I should
correctly,
say.
and he's
Yeah,
just
I love
yelling.
how fucked up he is in X6.
He literally called like I don't know if they deliberately did it as a shitty localization, but he just yells Zello.
Just die.
Zello.
Well, obviously.
Oh, that was
gotta
way
yell
more
Zello.
L than that, but yeah, I fucking.
Zello. That does too many
yeah.
O's, not too many L's. It's a
Oh,
difference.
he has tons of L's and O's, don't worry.
Oh, okay, good. From what there was word.
Because he's just screaming and a rambling, incoherent zombie man. Like, that's super cool. Whoever came up with that idea was 110% doing their job. Like, X7, when they do, like, Buzz Lightyear fucking Sigma, it's just like, what happened here? Why?
Wait, aren't you immune to lava now? You've got like the suit that like lets you do shit.
I could be walking around in it, but you're like the idea is that since there's lava there, that is an indicator you shouldn't be doing that.
What a coward.
Yeah,
You're letting the game be a cop to you.
you're letting the game or boss you around.
Look, I am going to hunt a
Thought you were cool,
Metroid that I
Gogglebop.
know is in this area, and then the lava will leave anyway.
Yeah, I
thought
honestly
you were
think
cool,
that...
Gogglebop. I thought you were cool.
Letting it box you in, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly think that if they had given X6 like a reasonable
yeah.
development
Oh
time,
no,
they
they
would have had a really
killed
cool
the
game.
last Metroid.
They killed the Federation Force. Rest in
Metroid
peace.
Prime, Federation Force.
Ah, yes.
Oh, no.
Everybody's favorite Metroid game that's not
Which is this? Delta Metroid Gamma?
This would be actually an Omega Metroid.
Oh right, I thought Omega Metroids were bigger.
Oh, the Omega Metroid.
That's what she said.
Rest in peace, Omega.
They
Oh, I
finally
like
shut
that. I
that
like
down.
that.
They finally shut it down.
Yeah, I'd probably call that rest in piss, given why they had to shut it down.
I mean, it was literally just a child predator service.
Yeah, 100%.
God, that
What?
sucks.
Oh, Omega.
At this
Oh.
point.
Then how
No,
is, like,
no, since day one. Since fucking day one.
how is
Well, there
chat
was a
roulette?
glorious period. God, I'm trying to remember how long ago it was. But you could actually have a conversation on there, like 2015 maybe.
Yeah, that's actually at one point there was a thread on like V that said like that was like go on Omegle and put video games in your interests and then just have a conversation with someone. And
I
then
did
have-
fuck
100%
around on
been
Omegle
before there
a
was
few
even
times
that
back
as
in the
an
day.
option.
The most fun I ever had with it was when I made a sign
Show
that
me
said,
your
"Show
books.
me your books."
Oh, this is all text chat. I wouldn't have done video.
Oh yeah, I did video. I made a
Beat-
sign that
beat
said,
is no
"Show me your
coward."
books," and a bunch of people showed me their books, and a few girls showed me their boobs.
Living
Oh,
the dream.
Yeah, living the dream. I got both.
Everything you could want.
Any GK Chesterton?
No, a bunch of textbooks mostly. like college textbooks.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
surprise, college students are on Omegle.
My brain
Yeah,
is like coming
I
up
feel
with
like
like
I missed that.
Well, what if someone showed like the man who was Thursday?
I would have been like, "Holy shit, you're my favorite person."
I'm just imagining.
Give me your contact info, personal everything. We need to hang out.
I'm just thinking of like more and more like horrible things that involve puns on like boobs and G.K. Chesterton.
Fuck. I mean, I think you just wrote the entire book on it right there. There's nowhere else to go after that. Like you started and you ended it in one shot, and I applaud you.
One shot, one kill.
One shot, one kill.
Okay, where's this hidden treasure chest? God damn it!
A friend of mine was so proud that her car odometer hit 80,000, 85 the other day.
Oh yeah.
How old is the car? Like,
I have no idea. But like, who's not entertained by an odometer hitting 80,000, 85?
I don't want to meet them.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
I only
don't
got like
care.
3,500 miles.
I don't care if they can prove that you're in a school zone or what. When your odometer hits like 6969, you should be able to go 69 miles an hour no matter where you
Absolutely.
Yeah.
are. Officer,
Doctor
I
says
had
my-
to make it everything.
The doctor says my blood pressure is 420/69. I hoot and holler out of the hospital while a bunch of losers try to tell me that I'm dying. Drill remains undefeatable.
No, he's the greatest to ever do it.
I've been introducing people to drill magic more and more, and I love their reactions to it.
Beautiful. I was playing fucking Puyo Pop with my wife. We do that every night. And I was winning. And I shouted, "Yes, I'm the rat of life. I'm the bitch of forever."
I'm sure that went over great.
Immediately, just completely stone-faced, just suddenly got this ridiculous combo and killed me instantly. And then just slowly turned to me and said, "I thought you were the rat of life."
Like, I need to hang out.
One day I'll get that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's a drill tweet.
I know. Oh wait,
I think my body.
you were playing. Wait, the whole story was a drill tweet, or just what you were quoting?
Just what I was quoting.
Just what he was quoting. He just says drill things sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Fun.
Hopefully one day I'll be able to quote drill things with whoever my partner
That
ends up
sounds-
being. Or yeah.
Everyone
I think I'm
knows
low
that
T
Drill's
because
wife
my body
left
is
him
not
over
making
candle
enough
sales.
piss. God, I was I very much enjoyed seeing this one just before Thanksgiving. Uncle screaming at dinner tables that the reason Nickelodeon put a new Rugrat in the show was to distract the public from defending Israel.
No, but that's actually what Mars does with the M&M shit. That was all to. Yeah, I mean, I don't
know. I'm
I was
just.
about to say, I
My-
don't want to hear any explanation for what you just said.
Yeah, no.
My-
I'm just going to.
No,
I know
was
that
gonna-
like you were referring to the candy. I'm going to, but my mind has like replaced it inexorably with the wrapper.
Okay.
My thoughts on the post of George Jetson sucked me. First off, he spelled his name wrong. Second off, you're an idiot even thinking that.
They still use child labor.
Of course.
Of course they do.
How many of these things do you end up fighting? Jeez.
3
All of them.
or 4
Many.
technically. I've got 3 left. There's a total of 4 in the game.
Got it.
I ask every girl I date if they would still like me if I had the body and brain of George H.W. Bush, age 82, and get mad when they say no.
Would you still like me if I was some totally unrelated person who happens to also be a war criminal?
What? No! Fuck you!
What do you mean, no? I thought we had something special. Wow, this boss sucks, and I hate him.
I remember why I thought they were bigger. Because of the Samus Returns things, they just look a little bigger, I guess.
There's also
Well,
a giant
next-
one at the end of Fusion.
Stop
Yeah,
letting
that's
it
right.
corner you.
I'm going to stay in the corner and hope everything works out. And it does.
This will totally
Nobody
be
puts
fine.
Goggle Bob in the corner.
I'll put Goggle Bob in the corner. Goggle Bob, I'm pretty sure you have to go into that pit you just walked past.
I absolutely
Completely
do, but I'm hitting the
oblivious.
save point to refill first.
Ugh. Coward.
Look, I used up all my super missiles, and these things take for frickin' ever.
All right, fair
Oh,
enough.
you have 3.
Yeah, you have 3. You
Now
know,
I got
I am a clever man would make it work with 3.
I am not a clever man.
Oh, my Hollywood career. I didn't condemn Hamas enough. Now I'll never get to write the worst TV show in history that's also pro mental health.
What
Exactly.
show? What show is that? Is that Last of
It's a
Us?
drill, too. Don't worry
That's
about
a
it.
drill.
Just a drill tweet. Don't worry.
Oh, I thought it was about Last of Us.
Could be. Who can say?
The
Yeah, I
grand
mean,
joke
honestly,
of drill tweets is that people,
not the worst assumption.
They
people
could be
try to
anything.
figure this crap out and like drive themselves nuts doing so, and it's never actually based on something like.
It's not.
It's like
real.
those guys like dedicating their entire lives to figuring out what every lyric of American Pie means.
Oh, right.
We got-
The guy
That sounds
saying,
fulfilling.
well, yeah, but not as fulfilling as actually eating American Pie, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
The sarcasm.
God dang, the Neil Druckmann, director of Last of Us, a guy who also ruined Last of Us, he said, like, Last of Us 2 was inspired by the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Of course he fucking
Yeah.
did.
Serious?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that is real.
Given the opportunity, I would hit Neil Druckmann with a truck.
Yeah, I would make
then
him
he
Neil
would-
Druckmann.
And
That
then he
means that
would.
if I hit Neil Druckmann from a truck, it goes from second degree murder to first degree murder. So like, I better not hit him with a truck.
Also,
Yeah,
if he's alive, then it becomes vehicular manslaughter.
I do think that God, like, it's fine though, because if he survives, he'll like overwork some poor Naughty Dog animator to like badly recreate a shitty animated GIF from 5 years ago.
Ugh.
Oh, I got a little confused because
It's
I
fine.
acknowledge. Like, what else is new? I acknowledge that The Last of Us. That's the game that they made into the show with Pedro Pascal, right?
Yeah.
100%.
And the
Yet I
show,
keep getting it confused just in title with This Is Us, which my understanding is some
This
really
is
happy,
Last of
like,
Us.
chick flick type show.
Truly, this was The Last of Us.
us directed
They
by
just
Jordan
took a
Peele.
minute.
Actually, wait, who directed that? Right, hold on. I
We
have a
really
friend who has a
were.
persona
The Last
called.
of
I
Us.
have a friend who has a persona called Neil Slugman and releases The Last of Us parodies called The Worst of Guys as him. Let's.
Screaming Red Skull, I don't understand how that person lives, but I'll respect it.
Yeah, I respect it too.
Yeah, I respect it too.
Neil Slugman, The Worst of Guys.
The
By
Worst of
Frog
Guys.
Crew.
God, the movies!
It was the best
Peter
of
Molyneux
guys.
presents
It was
the
the
movies.
worst of guys.
Let's see, 19 likes. Actually, I like the part you talked about. Okay, cool. I'll put this in my watch later. Thanks, Screaming Red Skull.
So this number 4 now.
This is the last one, yes.
The last
The
one.
Last
after
of
us,
Us?
there are
The
no more
Last of
metrics to
Us.
kill.
Oh, butters.
Truly, they were. Metroid 2, Samus Returns.
Yeah, I feel like this is The Last of Us sounds simultaneously like a terrible Saturday Night Live skit and something that could be really amazing.
I feel
And
like
It feels like a Who's on First bit, because then you can also work in the film Us, directed by Jordan Peele.
I feel like every movie should be forced to put the movie name somewhere in the script, and that makes things super hilarious for the sequels. Like, I feel like if you made that a law, like, we would get so many less shitty sequels because there'd just be no way to put, truly, it was Aliens 2.
Well,
A film that doesn't
they
exist.
He was
Oh
a
no, it's
predator,
Aliens Resurrection.
2.
it's like, well, there's evil within too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The Japanese script has to say Psycho Break too.
That's beautiful. I love
Is
that.
that what? How did they dub that in the? I mean, I guess I could just look it up. How they dubbed that bit in the Japanese version of the game.
Also, to briefly talk about the video game that's actually being played, I
Why would you
played
do that?
this when it first came out, and I can say that they had the Omega Metroids had like 10,000 more health. Like they took for
That's
freaking
too many
ever,
health.
and wisely they have reduced that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
See, making good choices in the fan remake.
Yeah. The other thing about it is, do they ever say Return of Samus or Samus Returns in the game proper?
I mean, they
Probably
barely
not.
say
There's almost no
anything, but I think
dialogue.
they actually do in the
I
beginning.
don't think there's any dialogue in the game.
No, there's an opening crawl kind of like Super Metroid. That
Yeah.
it was at the
and
very
then,
beginning last
You know,
week.
it's like I'm trying to think of how to work that like title thing into like each Metroid game. Like this is her zero mission. The and then like the Super Metroid came and gave Samus back her life for her to take down Mother Brain, and Samus is truly a Metroid fusion now.
Never.
Never.
It must be
Metroid
stopped.
Prime 2. What was Metroid Prime 2's full title?
Echo,
Correct?
Echoes.
Echoes.
Echo.
Samus was hearing the echoes of Metroid Prime. The echoes of Metroid Prime 2 have turned into Dark Samus.
I mean,
I
I
think
hate
I
to
heard
say
that
it,
too.
but I think Echoes is said repeatedly in that game due to how it works.
Okay, right, and then Corruption was also said Corruption. Yeah, I remember.
I think I would sooner just call the game Metroid Crime. That would be fun.
Metroid Crime.
And then is this one Metroid Grime?
Yes.
No.
Sure, why not?
No, I think Metroid. I would just keep calling games Metroid Crime over and over again.
Yeah, they would all be
Okay.
Metroid Crime.
Okay, and
And
then
we give them like increasingly stupid subtitles.
Samus.
No, they would all just be called Metroid Crime.
The air
No
was
subtitles.
the air was
All
filled,
video games are just now Metroid Prime.
the air is filled with Metroid dread.
Super Mario Brothers 2 Metroid Crime.
No, it's just called Metroid Crime now.
Yeah.
All games are now completely unsearchable and unidentifiable because they're all called Metroid Crime.
I love
Let's
it.
just
Let's
break
go
the
for it.
internet a little bit further now.
I mean, Google's already done that, so we're fine.
You saw that fucking thread about how he's like, oh yeah, I totally destroyed a website with search engine optimization. And like he thought people would like that shit.
I mean, I found it fascinating on how it worked, but it was a terrible thing to do.
That's
But I
like
want
that's
to
like
send him to
saying
hell.
that's like saying, oh yeah, the way I taxidermied that human was fascinating.
Yeah.
You're not
But
wrong.
also, you still belong in super jail.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing that I've always said this, like, I'm somebody who's in the computer industry, let's say, and the thing that's gotten me is that, like, back, I am not exaggerating, 20 years ago, like, turn of the century, I would say things like, oh yeah, this is definitely criminal, but just our justice system hasn't quite caught up to technology yet. And they'll get there someday, and then, you know, these kind of things won't happen anymore.
Yeah, that's
And
not fucking happening.
I was about to say, they still haven't caught up to the things that I was saying were criminal in the 21st century. We're barely even understanding how email spam works. And here we at.
I do like this background. That's a very nice background.
Yes. You know,
I
this
love
is
it
a-
when backgrounds feel like a huge expansive place instead of just a video game background.
Now, this is something that I feel. What's the word I'm looking for? The remake, the Metroid blah blah blah. The one that's on 3DS
Yeah.
did better, but also did worse, because this game gets right what Metroid 2 did originally, which you will note that there are no enemies here. And the reason for that is you're about to meet the Queen Metroid, and obviously the Metroids in Queen Metroid just fucking killed everything. Like, that's what they do. They're Metroids.
Yeah, it's their job.
However, in this version, they set up like a whole like Chozo society in the background, which like it implies that I guess the Chozos were here first and then the Metroids took over.
Yeah, sure.
Which kind of works with the canon, but also just kind of, I like the idea of this area just being completely abandoned. Now, the remake then does this area where they don't include any ruins, which I agree with, but because that game is so combat-based, there are still a big-ass pile of enemies everywhere, which completely takes away from the concept of, you know, this place is abandoned because apex predators live here.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
all
Okay,
right.
that's so you know, better in some areas, worse in others.
Yeah, it's like neither of them. I mean, it's weird when the original Game Boy got this area correct, pretty much because it couldn't give it a background. But there's my complaints about Metroids today.
Born to be Metroid.
Oh, dang. That's not an ominous pickup or anything.
Yes.
Oh, you can't even pick it up
Yeah, it's just a ghost.
Rude.
when you're a ghost. I just realized they don't have the door transitions in this game.
Oh, yeah.
How do you mean?
I mean, like in most classic Metroids, when you go through a door, like everything will fade out except the door, and then the door will, like, you know, scroll over and the next room loads, right? It's just a little Metroid specific flair added to the loading screens, basically.
Yeah, it moves slightly differently in this.
But in this one, like, it's the door vanishes and we just get Samus in the void. Which is not bad, but, you know, a little bit annoying.
It's
Oh, dang. Classic Metroids.
So in this
There's
game,
Big
also,
Piggy.
when you freeze them, they fall because gravity is a thing.
Huh. Oh, that's cute, I
Is
guess.
that not normal?
In the other game,
That
they
is
just
normal.
stand there floating.
That is the way like physics works. Is that the case in the 3DS remake?
No, I believe they still float in that. I might be wrong, though.
What happens if it lands on your head? Does it squish you?
No, it just kind of
Whoosh.
falls on your head like a hat.
Well, that's anticlimactic. Weird jellyfish hat. Weird frozen jellyfish hat. Oh, but they don't stay frozen, I see. That's rude.
I know, isn't it? Yeah.
Why aren't you just, you know, using your aim shot to shoot them when they're on the ground? Your
They
choices,
unfreeze faster than I
your
would
choices here baffle me, Goggle Bob.
like. Alright, I guess I have to hit him with all 5 of them while in one freeze frame. It's interesting.
They keep trying to eat your brain. That's so rude.
Yeah, that's what Metroids do. I'm like playing Metroid Soccer here, trying to get this one to freeze in the right spot.
Why are you doing that? You can aim at an angle. I am so mad at you.
Look at that.
I mean, I can't shoot missiles
I
through
am
things.
so mad at you.
You can shoot missiles at an angle, though.
I can shoot missiles at an angle, but not through things.
So stand at the edge. Oh my god.
See?
I'm so pissed
No
off
hat.
at you.
Whoa! Okay, that's.
Oh, all right. Clever.
Goodbye.
That's why I think my hand's cramping up.
I got jokes.
You should probably use a fight stick if you're getting hand cramps like that.
I mean, I usually use a fight stick, but in this case, it's just I've been holding this controller for like 3 continuous hours.
Yeah, use a fight stick, and then you could play this game that way. Yeah, it'll work.
You have one Metroid left. This is the last Metroid.
Why is the screen so shaky?
Because
My
Is that the end
favorite,
game?
my favorite game UI joke of all time has to be Broforce. Having a screen shake option in its oh, that's the last Metroid. There you go.
it is not in captivity.
Yeah, no, it is not in captivity. The galaxy is not appeased. But no, Broforce has a screen shake option in its options menu, and if you if you try to put it down to 0, it will like forcefully reassert itself back up to 100% because screen shake is an important part of that video game.
I had to turn off Screen Shake and Nuclear Throne when I had a Nuclear Throne addiction because because those two games are like similar stylistically. Because like if you use melee, it screen shakes every time you do melee, and if you spam melee, it's just gonna be like.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Yeah.
Melee.
How do you hurt this thing?
I don't know.
You
yet.
shoot
I
it.
think you
I
get
think you
it-
shoot a missile
yeah.
in its mouth.
I mean,
I
I
thought you
tried
had
that.
to get it in
He's
belly
doing
and
that.
That
then
was the first
shoot.
thing. I
Oh,
did.
maybe you
I
have
got nowhere.
to. Maybe you have to get like eaten and
I-
then bomb.
Well, the spines on the top of the head are glowing.
Yeah,
when
I
it
tried
backs
shooting the glowing
up.
bits, and I got nowhere with that.
Gonna look
Try
up.
shooting the glowy bits when they're not glowing.
I'm gonna look this up too.
What if you get eaten though? Consider.
I think getting eaten is the finale to this.
Hmm.
I know there's a quick kill. I've seen it.
Well, remember this is not the original game.
I know there's a quick kill in this remake, though. I've
Yeah,
seen that.
I would be shocked if Beat hadn't watched more of this than the original.
You can't backseat. This is Twitch.
You can,
Watch
we
me.
can, and we shall.
Oh, okay. I gotta get it in its mouth when it's doing that thing. Oh, I guess it's invincible to eating missiles while it's flashing. That seems to be what's happening. That is what the game was trying to tell me. Flashing equals invincible. Not flashing is not invincible.
Prince Horde can never give any advice. I don't know if they've watched your stream before. I mean, I not that what I would call. Never mind. Not
That
that
time
I
with
would
the
call
parking,
much
that
of
was
this
fun.
advice, is where I was going with that. Suddenly dead silent while we all wait for this to end.
Yeah, basically.
I'm just looking up the Metroid life cycle again.
I mean, do they come out of eggs?
They do.
Yes.
We actually saw an egg earlier.
I guess what I'm thinking is like, man, then. Because I'm used to thinking of them just being like jellyfish with teeth, and then apparently they get armor, and then they turn into like dinosaur, but then they turn into like turtles.
They also can breathe fire at some random points in their life cycle, which seems counterintuitive.
Apparently, here they breathe bacteria.
I think it's
What are they?
acid.
I mean, in the original Metroid 2,
Oh yeah,
just
that
because
is.
the sprite was kind of ill-defined, I assumed these things were like ultra baby Metroids.
Yeah, maybe it's gut bacteria, like
No,
how we have
that's
a whole ecosystem
I'm gonna-
living inside of ourselves.
One person in the chat says never give any advice, and everybody just stops talking. Hey, how boring is that?
Wow. You're blaming
Never
this poor
give up,
person in
never
chat.
surrender.
You're blaming poor Prince Hordkin? That's rude. Prince Hordkin never did nothing wrong.
Is this more or less annoying than the OG Metroid 2 fight?
The OG Metroid 2 fight is weird. I say the OG, the original fight you can run away from at any time, which does a lot to make it better, in my opinion.
I was gonna say, weird in what sense?
I mean, like, okay, Goggle Bob, I have to say this. Like, I've watched this long enough to figure out the pattern. It's very obvious. You get a full heal every time they do that one annoying attack. Why are you charging?
The
You
charge.
can't-
Oh, here we go. Go it in. Oh no. Guess we just have to do
Oh.
this now.
Oh man.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Oh no. This is the cool part.
I thought I was gonna eat him.
Yeah.
When you charge, you pull in the power-ups.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, well, that's
But
why
there
I'm
were no
doing
power-
it.
But I don't respect you for doing it. So you should stop.
That sounds more like a you problem than a Gogglebob problem. I say shit like that, and I'm honestly surprised that you guys haven't kicked me off yet.
We would never.
No.
You're
I
on
have
about
no
the same
power
level as everybody
on
else.
this. I don't really know.
Nope.
Even worse streams is proudly egalitarian in how much of a dick you can be to us. I don't think you can do it yet, Gogo Bob. And I was wrong. There's not a quick kill. At least not like, in the traditional sense.
Disappointing.
Disappointed! I will never not.
Mediocre.
Okay, now I'm getting the rhythm of this.
Well, at least now he tells where his head's gonna jab from.
Excuse me, she.
It, sorry. They.
Instead of first, I know you said it, but for a second I thought you said bitch. And I was like, yeah, fair.
I mean,
Can't believe Beat has bitch brain.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a combination of like testing the waters, but also I'm from Jersey and we're all assholes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is usually the statement for us.
Talking to
Yes.
Florida man. Like, I get it.
Right? Like, but
I like that we
Oh,
just
now
got like
it's
a little extra acid stitch here.
Alright, what's the little green thingy?
I mean, acid, I guess?
No. The missile looking, but it's
Super
green.
missile.
Those are the super
Okay.
missiles.
Those are the good
Dang.
missiles. The missiles that do like
They're the
loads of
good
damage
shit.
instead of just a little bit.
Good missiles as opposed to bad missiles.
The regular missiles.
Those stronger missiles.
Got it. Better missiles. Got it. And then puke acid fire things. Okay. True missile.
Hey, can you screw attack those little stupid annoying projectiles?
I tried and like, no, not really.
That sucks. I guess that would like make the game too easy, but also like it seems like you should be able to do that.
I mean, they
You know?
disappear a lot faster than like you would expect. Oh, now she's really angry.
Just now, huh?
Just now.
Well, she's like going on like full crocodile mode. Can I get in your mouth yet? No? Okay.
Weirdest pickup line ever. Considering
There it
the
is.
context.
There we go. Now I got in your mouth.
The delay is real.
Knock, knock,
Bomb.
open up. The delay is real.
Aw, you didn't super bomb.
Think of what you could have had.
The super bomb, it doesn't end the fight any quicker. It ends the exact same speed. But the super bomb has like a special animation where she's like, "Oh shit, what's this thing in my stomach?"
Yeah,
And you
I
get like
kinda reacted.
those big ass anime lights beams and shit.
It's cool as shit. And
Yep.
Let me look up
fail this.
AM2R Queen power. Oh wow, it's a search suggestion. Like this
It
new,
knows what you crave.
this is a new Blub Corp, like 8 hours. Okay, never mind. Gotta stay focused.
Never mind. Okay, we can go this way.
Oh, this music's really good.
Can you go up there? Up?
No,
Did you go
apparently.
back?
But just left.
Even
Over
though it
left.
looks on the map like there's a place
Yeah, I
you
think
can
it's
go.
because
Oh,
the map
that
kind
is
of
really
overlaps
cool.
with the boss area.
I know, right? Oh, baby Metroid. Oh, it's so cute.
Kill
Love
it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
Kill
And
it!
it was fire.
Fucking kill it!
Make it taste the curb.
Jesus.
Let's see it
Oh, wait,
withstand
it's
the
helping
burden
you?
of the
I'm
cross.
so confused.
Wow, I'd love to break its legs.
So if the Babby Metroid were not, if it were killed here, would it
There would be no Super Metroid. Samus would Samus would
would
like
actually
do
be a-
odd jobs for the rest of her life until finally retiring to Space Florida.
Nice. Okay, the galaxy would be at peace.
The galaxy would be at peace.
But you gotta figure
Oh,
Mother
Turns
Brain
out,
would try
turns out
something
those
else.
little flying jellyfish things are the only thing keeping the galaxy from peace.
Yeah, and and if you try doing it in like Samus Returns, you get some like literally Adam Malkovich rings you up and is like, "Don't do that, you'll create a time paradox."
So is this
Also, like, what's it eating? Is it eating rocks? Are
It
those
is,
supposed to be
yeah.
like?
I mean,
It's
you
a
gotta
dumb
figure
baby.
the queen was living around here. This may be like her secretions.
Gross.
Yeah,
It's
so's biology.
it Metroid milk, which is just called milk.
Ugh. Milktroid.
I was gonna say, is it like the little bugs that you had to put on the tree to get the tree out of your way in the other one?
Kinda, yes.
I love the SR388 surface looking like this. It's really good.
Yeah, like this is a legit cool
Oh,
background.
you're actually on the planet instead of in the planet? What is this nonsense?
You get that occasionally. That was also in Super.
God,
This
I
is
missed Ro's
my-
feud with Asamo.
God, I'd love to break its legs.
You look like an idiot made out of diapers.
Hey, shit!
This ASMO is full of rats. Nobody ever washes it.
The
Asamo?
galaxy is at peace.
ASMO, however you want to pronounce it. The
Oh,
stupid.
Asphalt Gold? Oh,
No.
Asimo. Okay.
Okay.
I see it.
No, I know.
Oh, okay, I see now.
Yeah, little robot.
I never hit the post.
Anyway,
button
that
on
was
that.
another Metroid 2 remake. A pretty good video game that Nintendo did everything it could to crush because it came out right before Nintendo announced the 3DS remake.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's still at. This guy is still at Mood Studios, according to his. But I thought Mood Studios.
Special
like,
thanks to Nathan.
The company is
Clown
now
House.
working on an action role-play game, which is.
That could be
Oh.
fun.
Did they become independent?
Mhm.
Apparently, they. Huh. I thought they were owned by Xbox. Ori and the Blind. Okay.
I think they just
Probably.
published that.
Special thanks to Banjo.
I'm going to beat the shit out of Asimo. I'm going to knock it on its ass while it's trying to use a staircase as a trade show.
Oh,
Dreadful beast.
he made a new he made a new game earlier this year called Siren Cat in Space.
Beautiful.
I'll link
Prince
it in.
Hortkin is asking, what did Capcom do in this?
Nothing. Nothing.
I didn't see that in there.
Capcom all staff.
Was that special thanks?
I don't know. I missed it. I'm just reading what's in the chat.
Bum 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 bum. Well, not bad for the second time I've ever played this game.
No, you did great. Excellent.
So
work.
is that all?
See you.
Wow,
next
wow.
week.
Never mind. Complete. That is negative nudity, Goggle Bob.
She put on more clothes.
Yeah, she was like, hold on a second, and like comes back wearing like a thick Anorandex jacket.
I'm now imagining Samus wearing like a sweater over the power suit.
Sipping a coffee.
Gets cold in those caves.
Yeah, it's cold in space where nobody can hear you scream.
The last Metroid.
The last Metroid is in captivity. What, so you put the baby in a box?
Yes.
Actually, kind of a tube.
Small tube.
Yeah.
Up next, Metroid Prime Pinball.
All right, I have the counter programming up already.
It's not counter programming if he's already done.
Well,
Is
that's
that
the
any
game over,
relation
folks. Come
to,
back next week for more Metroid.
Sonic Pinball?
Sonic Spinball.
Sonic Spinball, a game that I have a weird affection for, even though I know it is very bad.
Sonic
Signing off,
Spinball
ladies and
option
gentlemen.
menu music on E3.
Yep,
You don't have to stay, you don't have to go anywhere, but you can stay here or something.
they're truly beautiful. All right, it is
Good night.
almost 11, and I am gonna go to bed. Have a great night, all.
Space
All
Skeleton.
right.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.